We all know that worries can take over our minds. Sometimes it's a late bill, other times it's imagining the entire world collapsing before we even finish dinner. Yet somehow the smallest thought can feel heavier than the biggest storm. But what if there was a gentler way to face these moments? A way the Buddha himself taught, soft, simple, and full of light. In today's video, we'll talk about how the Buddha's wisdom can help you release your worries and find deep inner calm. So let's not waste any time and let's begin. As you settle a little deeper into your space, let your breath become the gentle guide that leads you inward. There is nothing you need to change about it, not its pace, not its rhythm. Simply notice it, as though you are observing a small flame flickering in a quiet room. Each inhale brings a soft glow, and each exhale releases a little more of the weight you've been carrying. Your breath has been with you through every moment of your life, yet rarely do we pause long enough to feel its calm, steady presence. Tonight it becomes your companion, your teacher, and your doorway to peace. Imagine sitting beneath a great Bodhi tree, its wide branches stretched overhead like protective arms. The air around you is warm and still, carrying only the gentle whisper of leaves shifting in the night. The Buddha sits nearby, not speaking, not instructing, simply breathing. His presence is gentle, as natural as moonlight touching the ground. There is no pressure, no expectation, no judgment, only stillness and breath. The simple, steady rhythm that has carried countless beings into clarity and calm begins to cradle you as well. Breathe in slowly through your nose, feeling the air cool as it enters. Let it travel down your chest into your belly, grounding you. Then breathe out with ease, letting your body soften just a bit more. Notice how, with each breath, your thoughts start to drift further away, like small clouds fading across a wide sky. You don't need to chase them or push them aside. Just breathe and watch them float. The Buddha's presence reminds you that wisdom often begins not with answers, but with quiet observation. The mind may try to wander, perhaps to unfinished tasks, past conversations, or imagined futures. But here, surrounded by the stillness of the Bodhi tree, none of it has power over you. Bring your attention back to your breath, again and again. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the warmth within your body. Feel yourself slowly letting go. If your thoughts tug at you, return softly, with kindness, not force. Each return is a gentle reminder of your growing awareness. With every inhale, imagine drawing in a soft golden light, warm, peaceful, and healing. With every exhale, imagine releasing a thin gray mist, the tension, the doubts, the fears you don't need tonight. This is not a battle. It is simply the natural ebb and flow of the mind learning to rest. The Buddha watches like a quiet guardian, offering his calm, not through words, but through presence. You begin to sense how even the simplest breath can carry profound stillness. As you breathe, allow your shoulders to soften and drift downward. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands rest without effort. Feel the weight of your body supported fully. Imagine the earth beneath the Bodhi tree supporting you the same way, strong and steady, holding you without asking anything in return. The Buddha taught that peace is found not in escaping life, but in returning to the body with loving attention. Tonight, you begin that journey, breath by gentle breath. Notice how the breath feels at the tip of your nose, the faint coolness on the inhale, the subtle warmth on the exhale. Notice how your chest expands, not with strain, but with a sense of spaciousness. Notice the slow settling deep within your belly, as though your body is remembering how to rest. The more you observe, the more the breath begins to feel like a soft wave washing through you, smoothing the edges of your worries. There is something sacred in this simplicity. No complicated steps, no difficult practices, just breathing, just being. In the Buddha's presence, ordinary things become extraordinary, and the most basic act becomes a doorway to inner calm. With each breath, you begin to understand why countless seekers sat beneath the Bodhi tree in search of clarity. Perhaps they discovered, as you do now, that peace begins with simply allowing the breath to guide the mind. Let your breath become deeper, slower, softer. Feel how it nourishes you. Feel how it helps you settle into your body, like a feather drifting gently to the earth. Allow yourself to surrender a little more to this moment. The Buddha's wisdom doesn't rush. It doesn't demand. It arrives slowly, like dawn light creeping across the horizon. Through your breath, that same light begins to glow inside you. And as that glow grows warmer, you feel your awareness starting to expand downward, into your chest, your arms, your belly, your legs. The breath opens the door, inviting you to explore the quiet landscape of your body. The stillness within you is ready to be rediscovered, and your breath, steady and warm, gently leads the way as your journey continues into deeper awareness. As your breath continues its gentle rhythm, you may notice a soft warmth spreading through you, as if the air itself is carrying a subtle calm into every corner of your being. This warmth invites you to come home to your body, to truly feel its presence, its weight, its quiet strength. For so long, you may have lived in your thoughts, pulled from one worry to the next, barely remembering the steady foundation beneath you. But now, with the Buddha's peaceful guidance nearby, you are invited to rest fully in the body you carry, the body that carries you. Imagine again the great Bodhi tree overhead, its roots reaching deep into the earth. These roots twist and weave beneath you, ancient and unshakable. Feel yourself leaning into that same grounded stability. The earth beneath you offers complete support, asking nothing in return. It holds you the way a calm night holds the stars, with ease, with certainty, with quiet affection. Let your own body begin to mirror that steadiness. Begin by noticing your feet. Feel their weight, the subtle tingling, the warmth or coolness. Your feet have carried you through countless moments, rushing, pausing, wandering, standing still. Now they rest, no longer bearing the urgency of the day. Let the muscles soften, let the bones settle. Let gravity do its quiet work. From your feet, allow that sense of ease to rise slowly up into your legs. Feel the heaviness settling in, not as exhaustion, but as surrender. Your body allowing itself to be held by something greater. Let your thighs soften, your hips loosen, your spine lengthen with ease. There is no effort needed. Your body knows how to relax. It has simply been waiting for permission. As you breathe, picture each inhale bringing gentle awareness, and each exhale melting a layer of tension. Bit by bit, your body unravels the knots it has tied throughout the day. You may feel warmth, or a kind of flowing, or even nothing at all. Whatever arises is simply a part of settling. Feel this calm awareness move into your belly, letting it soften with each breath. Notice how your abdomen gently rises and falls, a natural rhythm that continues without force. In the Buddha's teachings, the body is not separate from the mind. It is a living doorway to understanding. As your belly loosens and your breath deepens, you begin to sense how the body and mind relax together, how one influences the other in subtle, beautiful ways. Allow the ease to flow upward into your chest. Feel your heartbeat, steady, quiet, carrying you through every moment of your life. Imagine the Buddha placing a soft hand over your heart, not to change it, but to remind you that you are already enough, already whole. Let your chest expand a little more freely, your breath moving like a peaceful tide. If there has been heaviness here, worry, strain, unspoken fear, Let it gently dissolve into the warm air around you. Move your attention to your shoulders. So often they carry burdens you were never meant to hold alone. Tonight, let them drop, even if only a little. Let them sink like two stones releasing into water, finally allowed to rest at the bottom of a still pond. Feel how much space opens in your body when your shoulders let go. Feel how your neck lengthens, how your jaw loosens, how your face softens. Let this feeling spread down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. Notice any sensations, tingling, warmth, or a pleasant heaviness. Your arms rest now, no longer needing to grasp or hold anything. Your hands, too, soften without effort. They've reached for so much, held so much, worked through so much. Now they are still, resting in the quiet comfort of the present moment. Your entire body begins to feel heavier, but also lighter in a different way. Lighter emotionally, heavier physically, as though the earth itself is welcoming you into its steady embrace. Let your whole being lean into that grounded sensation. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. The Buddha sits quietly nearby, watching with gentle understanding as you rediscover the language of your own body. And as your body settles, a particular clarity begins to rise. You may notice the faint flicker of thoughts drifting through your mind, small, passing impressions, floating in and out like distant fireflies. They don't disturb you. They simply appear, dance lightly, and fade again. The more your body relaxes, the more your mind reveals the subtle patterns happening within it. These passing thoughts, once noisy or demanding, now seem farther away. They feel softer, less gripping. You begin to sense that they too can be observed gently, without fear or urgency. Just as your breath became an anchor, your body now becomes a stable foundation from which to watch the play of the mind. And so, as your body sinks fully into the earth's steady support, your awareness naturally begins to lift upward into the quiet sky of your thoughts. You are ready to explore the gentle art of watching your mind, just as the Buddha once guided countless seekers beneath the sheltering branches of the Bodhi tree. As your body settles more deeply into the earth's steady support, something subtle begins to shift within you. The quiet foundation you've created makes it easier to notice the gentle movements of your inner world. Thoughts, once loud and tangled, begin to drift with a softer presence. Instead of pulling you in different directions, they float at a distance, like small figures moving across a wide landscape. You are no longer standing inside them. You are watching from a calm, grounded place. Imagine the sky above the Bodhi tree stretching endlessly, a vast field of blue. The Buddha once reminded seekers that the mind, at its deepest level, is like the sky, boundless, open, untouched by the weather that passes through it. Your thoughts, like clouds, may appear thick or wispy, bright or dark, heavy or light, but the sky beneath them never changes. As you breathe gently, you begin to sense that same spaciousness within yourself. Take a slow breath in, and imagine the inhale expanding your inner sky. On the exhale, let a cloud drift by, any thought at all. It might be a leftover worry from the day, a memory that tugs at your attention, or a small concern floating in the background. Whatever shape it takes, allow it to pass without trying to change it. The Buddha's teachings gently remind you that the mind is not meant to be forced into silence. It simply settles when it's no longer pushed or pulled. Watching these thoughts without judgment gives them room to move on, just as clouds naturally continue their path when the wind guides them forward. Some clouds may linger longer than others. Perhaps there is a thought that sticks, looping in your awareness. You don't need to chase it away. Imagine bowing to it gently, acknowledging its presence the way you might acknowledge a visitor passing by your home. You don't need to invite it in. You don't need to argue with it. You simply allow it to move in its own time. Your breath becomes a soft breeze, encouraging it forward and guiding it toward the horizon. Other clouds may form suddenly, quick flashes of emotion, a small spark of fear, a flicker of doubt. In the past, these moments might have gripped your attention tightly, claiming urgency. But now, wrapped in stillness, you see them clearly for what they are. Temporary ripples of the mind. Their appearance doesn't define you. Their intensity doesn't control you. Just as clouds cannot stain the sky, thoughts cannot stain your true nature. Continue watching them drift, one after another. Notice how each thought has its own texture and pace. Some move gently. Some appear and dissolve quickly. Some stretch slowly across the sky like long wisps. There is no need to judge them as good or bad. They are simply experiences passing through awareness, carried by the wind of your breath. With each passing cloud, you grow more familiar with this spacious inner view. You feel less compelled to cling to every thought. Something inside loosens. Something softens. The Buddha taught that suffering begins when we hold tightly to what passes. Tonight, beneath the shelter of your breath, you are practicing the art of letting go, not through effort, but through understanding. You see clearly that thoughts are not commands. They are not warnings. They are not truths. They are just clouds. And sometimes, in this gentle watching, the sky may appear completely clear for a moment. A quiet stillness emerges, like sunlight breaking through after a thin veil of morning mist. This moment of clarity arrives effortlessly, not because you silenced your mind, but because you allowed it to move naturally. In this openness, you may feel a subtle lightness, a sense of spacious freedom. This is the mind returning home to itself. Allow yourself to remain with this sky-like awareness, breathing softly, resting deeply. If another cloud appears, and it will, you greet it without concern. You already know it will pass. This understanding brings a peace that cannot be forced. You are beginning to see your inner world the way the Buddha encouraged, with patience, softness, and clarity. And as you watch these clouds move gently across your awareness, a new question begins to arise in the quiet space behind them. Not loud or intrusive, but curious and steady. Where do these clouds come from? What gives rise to them? What is the subtle wind that shapes their form? This quiet curiosity is the beginning of insight. It opens a doorway to understanding something deeper, the very roots of suffering, the origins of fear, the patterns that shape your inner weather. With your body grounded, your breath steady, and your thoughts drifting gently across the sky, you are ready to look more deeply into the causes of worry and the nature of emotional storms. And so your journey continues, guided by the Buddha's calm presence, as you begin to explore the hidden roots beneath the clouds, where understanding and peace quietly await. As you continue watching your thoughts drift gently like clouds, something begins to reveal itself in the quiet spaces between them. Certain thoughts seem to return more often, shadows that linger longer than others, carrying a familiar heaviness. These are the thoughts, shaped by fear. They hover differently, moving with a weight that touches your chest, your breath, your muscles, even before you fully recognize their presence. And yet, here beneath the peaceful canopy of the Bodhi tree, you are safe enough to look at them with new eyes. Fear is not an enemy. The Buddha taught that it is simply a natural ripple of the mind, arising from old memories, imagined futures, or the instinct to protect yourself. It appears like a sudden gust of wind stirring the calm sky, uncomfortable but temporary. Let yourself breathe softly as you look at fear not as something that defines you, but as something that visits you. Imagine one of these clouds drifting closer, shaped by worry or uncertainty. Instead of recoiling, imagine stepping just a little nearer, observing it with gentle curiosity. Ask it silently, what are you trying to protect? Most fear, when seen clearly, is rooted in something deeply human, longing for safety, stability, love, or belonging. Fear often forms when the mind imagines that something precious might be lost or harmed. But when you look closely, you may find that many of these imagined threats are echoes rather than realities. Notice how fear behaves inside you. Does it tighten your chest? Does it stir your stomach? Does it speed your thoughts? These reactions are simply the body trying to prepare itself, even when preparation isn't needed. The Buddha understood that fear arises when the mind clings to what it wants, fears what it cannot control, resists what it does not understand. And yet, beneath that clinging, there is always a softer truth. You are trying to protect your heart. Take a slow breath in and imagine the air moving into the places where fear has settled. Feel it create space. Gentle, warm, compassionate space. Fear cannot tighten itself around a mind that is breathing deeply. With each inhale, you soften the grip of that cloud. With each exhale, you allow it to drift a little farther, not by force, but by understanding. Some fears are small, appearing like thin, wispy clouds, momentary concerns about simple things, easily forgotten. Others may be larger, darker, stretching across the sky like storm clouds. These are the fears you may have carried for years, perhaps since childhood. They form slowly through experiences, through unspoken moments, through times when support felt far away. If one of these darker clouds appears in your awareness, meet it gently. It may have followed you for so long that it doesn't know how to dissolve yet. That is okay. You do not need it to disappear tonight. You only need to see it clearly. The Buddha taught that when we shine the light of awareness on fear, it begins to lose its shape. What once felt overwhelming softens into something recognizable, even manageable. You might notice that beneath fear is often sadness, or longing, or uncertainty. These emotions are not faults. They are simply parts of being human. As you sit beneath the Bodhi tree, you realize that fear is not a wall. It is a doorway to deeper understanding. Let yourself breathe again, slow and deep. With each breath, imagine a warm golden light filling your chest, like a lantern glowing from within. This is the Buddha's compassion, a gentle, unwavering presence. Let that light expand, touching the places inside you where fear has held tension. Feel the warmth soothe those knots, untangling them gradually. Your fear may not vanish, but as the knots loosen, the heaviness begins to ease. As you observe your fear in this compassionate light, you begin to understand something important. Fear is part of you, but it is not you. It rises and falls like the clouds, shaped by conditions, but never permanent. Knowing this softens your heart. It allows you to meet fear not with resistance, but with tenderness. The Buddha once said that compassion is the antidote to fear, not because it eliminates danger, but because it softens the suffering around it. Imagine offering your fear a small gesture of kindness, as though you are comforting a frightened child. Whisper gently, "It's all right. You don't have to fight. I see you." This softness allows the fear cloud to dissolve slowly into the open sky. With each breath, your heart feels a little lighter, a little freer. You may even sense gratitude rising, not for the fear itself, but for the understanding it has brought. And as the sky within you becomes clearer once more, something begins to stir in your heart. a warmth, a subtle tenderness, a sense of being able to hold yourself gently, without judgment. The more deeply you understand fear, the more naturally compassion begins to grow. What once felt like a struggle becomes an opportunity to care for yourself with kindness. With this new understanding, you feel ready to turn toward the heart with a gentler, more compassionate gaze. You begin to sense that the next step on this path is not about analyzing your fears, but about offering yourself the same comfort the Buddha offers to all beings. Your journey continues now, moving softly into the warmth of self-compassion, waiting to unfold within you. As you begin to understand fear with gentler eyes, something inside you naturally softens. The edges of those old worries loosen, and in the space they leave behind, a quiet tenderness begins to rise. It is subtle at first, like the warmth of sunlight just before dawn. But as you rest beneath the Bodhi tree, it grows warmer, more present. This tenderness is the beginning of kindness toward yourself, a quality the Buddha taught as essential on the path to peace. You may not be used to offering yourself kindness. Many people move through life, judging themselves more harshly than they would ever judge another person. You may carry expectations you would never place on someone else. You may speak to yourself in ways you would never speak to a friend. And yet, here in this gentle space, your heart begins to realize that it deserves the same compassion you give so freely to others. Imagine now placing a gentle hand over your chest, right at the center of your heart. Feel the warmth there, the quiet pulse, the steady rhythm of life moving through you. This heart has carried your joys and sorrows, your hopes and disappointments, your growth and your pain. It has been with you through every moment, even when you felt alone. Let your touch be soft, soothing, a small gesture of presence and care. As your palm rests there, imagine a soft glow of warm light beneath your hand. With every inhale, that light grows brighter, and with every exhale, it spreads a little farther, filling your chest, your shoulders, your throat. Feel this light, not as something you must create, but as something that was always there, waiting to be noticed. This is the light of kindness, the gentle warmth of your own compassion awakening. Let yourself whisper silently, "I see you. I'm here with you. You're doing the best you can." These are simple words, but spoken inwardly. They begin to dissolve the tight knots formed by years of self-criticism. You may even feel a small wave of relief move through your body, a soft melting, a subtle release. Kindness does not require grand gestures. It thrives in small moments of honesty and care. Think of someone you love deeply, perhaps a friend, a family member, or a pet. Think of the tenderness you feel for them when they are hurting or uncertain. You would hold them, support them, and reassure them without hesitation. Now imagine offering that same tenderness to yourself. The Buddha taught that true compassion begins inwardly, not out of selfishness, but because a wounded heart cannot fully comfort the hearts of others. When you learn to be kind to yourself, you begin to heal old wounds that have long shaped your inner world. Allow your breath to guide you deeper into this softness. Inhale kindness. Exhale tension. Imagine the breath sweeping gently through your chest, clearing away the small remnants of harshness that linger there. If any self-critical thoughts arise, do not fight them. Let them be part of the clouds you observed earlier. Acknowledge them gently. You were trying to protect me. Then let them drift on. This practice is not about denying your imperfections or pretending you have never made mistakes. It is about recognizing that you are human, shaped by countless causes and conditions, navigating life with whatever wisdom you had in each moment. The Buddha taught that every being deserves compassion, because every being is trying, in their own way, to be free from suffering. You are no exception. Let your awareness move now through your body again, not with the intention to relax it, but to offer it kindness. Begin with your heart. Feel its steady beating, carrying you forward without complaint. Whisper gratitude. Move to your shoulders. Perhaps they still hold some weight. Offer them forgiveness for all they carry. Then to your stomach, often home to worry, and offer it a smile, a symbolic softening. Continue through each part of your body, acknowledging, appreciating, comforting. Feel how your body responds to even the smallest kindness. Muscles loosen, breath deepens, the mind quiets. Kindness acts as a balm, softening the places where fear once rooted itself. It fills the cracks left behind by old worries and begins to heal them from within. This healing is gentle, slow, but deeply powerful. As the warmth in your chest expands, you may notice it moving outward, not just through your body, but through your mind, your awareness, your energy. It begins to touch the edges of your thoughts, your memories, your emotions. Self-kindness, once awakened, does not stay contained. It naturally wants to grow, to reach, to radiate. You begin to sense how this inner light could one day extend far beyond yourself, touching the world around you. For now, stay with this warm glow inside you, this gentle reassurance that you are worthy of care. Let it fill you completely, strengthening you in quiet, steady ways. And as the glow continues to expand, a natural question arises, not from fear, but from love. If I can offer this kindness to myself, can I offer it to others as well? The Buddha's teachings remind us that compassion is not limited to one heart. It flows naturally, like water, from one being to another. And now that your own heart has begun to soften, it is ready to open wider, reaching beyond your own experience. As you rest in this growing warmth, your journey continues into a deeper, more expansive compassion, one that stretches outward like the gentle light of dawn across a peaceful world. The warmth you've begun to cultivate within your own heart continues to glow gently, like embers awakening into a steady flame. What started as a soft light meant only to comfort you now feels as though it wants to grow, expanding beyond the quiet space of your chest. It rises, it widens, and it shifts, becoming something larger than self-care alone. This is the natural unfolding of compassion, a warmth that does not stay contained but spreads outward, touching everything around it with ease. Imagine that this light within you shines brighter, becoming a gentle field of golden radiance. It does not burn or overwhelm. Instead, it glows with the same softness as the first rays of dawn breaking through morning mist. With every inhale, the field expands a little farther, and with every exhale, it settles more smoothly into the world around you. This light isn't forced. It doesn't need direction. It simply grows because kindness, once awakened, is meant to be shared. Feel it reach outward from your chest, moving into your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Then feel it extend beyond your body, forming a warm aura that surrounds you. This compassionate field is spacious, gentle, welcoming. It feels like a soft blanket woven from your own tenderness, spreading without effort, reaching toward anyone who may be hurting, confused, or lost, just as you have been at times in your life. Let the light move farther still, touching the ground beneath you, the air around you, the silent space under the Bodhi tree. Imagine it spreading into the earth, seeping deep into the soil, nourishing it like warm rain. Feel it glide upward, moving through the branches overhead, brushing softly against each leaf. The world around you begins to glow with the same compassion that fills your heart. Nothing is left untouched by its warmth. Allow your awareness to rest in this field of compassion, noticing how it changes the way you feel about yourself and the world. Compassion doesn't erase pain or difficulty, but it softens the sharp edges. It tells you, you are not alone in your suffering. And just as it embraces you, it naturally reaches toward others who suffer as well. Picture someone you care about, perhaps a friend, a family member, or someone who has supported you. See them bathed in this warm golden light. Notice how your heart softens even more as you think of them. Allow the light to settle around them gently, offering comfort the same way it comforted you. If they've been struggling, imagine the light soothing their worries. If they've been joyful, imagine it amplifying their warmth. Now imagine someone who has been difficult for you. Someone who hurt you, confused you, or caused you pain. This part may feel strange, but compassion does not require closeness or agreement. It simply acknowledges that everyone is trying to find peace in their own imperfect way. Let the golden field reach them too, not to change what happened, but to release the tightness in your own heart. The Buddha taught that compassion extended to those who trouble us, frees us from the burdens we've carried. Let the light spread farther still, to strangers, to those you've passed by without noticing, to those living far beyond your world. Imagine it flowing outward across towns, mountains, oceans, touching beings in distant lands. Everywhere it goes, the light carries the same message. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace. May you be held in compassion. Feel how expansive your heart becomes as this field widens. What once felt small or guarded now feels open, spacious, capable of holding many experiences at once. Compassion does not deplete you. It replenishes you. It creates connection. It reminds you that every being on earth carries joys and sorrows, hopes and wounds, fears and dreams. When you send compassion outward, you join a larger human story, one rooted in understanding rather than separation. As the radiance continues to expand, take a slow breath in and notice how your body responds. There may be a sense of warmth in your chest, or a tingling in your hands, or a feeling of lightness in your face. Compassion, when felt deeply, changes the way the body holds itself. The muscles soften. The breath steadies. The mind becomes spacious. You begin to sense the truth that the Buddha often emphasized, that all beings are interconnected, woven together like threads in a vast tapestry. This growing awareness begins to shift something subtle within you. You no longer feel like a solitary being beneath the Bodhi tree. You feel connected, supported by the presence of countless others, each moving through their own lives with their own struggles and hopes. Compassion has formed a bridge between your heart and the world, making separation feel less real and unity more natural. Let the golden light settle into a steady glow around you, pulsing gently like the breath of the earth itself. It holds you. It holds others. It holds the space between. As you rest within this radiant field, a soft realization begins to arise. If compassion can expand this far, then connection must run even deeper. Beneath the surface of individual lives, there is a shared essence that unites all beings. Your heart, already open and warm, is ready to explore this deeper truth. And so your journey continues, moving from the warmth of compassion into the profound understanding of interconnection that the Buddha taught with such gentle wisdom. As the warm field of compassion continues to expand around you, something subtle begins to shift in the space between your breaths. The golden radiance that you extended outward settles into a vast, gentle web, stretching beyond anything you can measure. This web connects you to every person you've ever known, every person you've never met, every creature living quietly in the world, and even the silent trees and stones around you. What once felt like separate pieces of existence now feels like a single, woven tapestry. This is the truth the Buddha called interbeing, the understanding that nothing exists alone and everything touches everything else. Feel the air surrounding your body. It brushes your skin softly, but it is not just your air. It has traveled through forests, over oceans, across mountains, through the lungs of countless beings before arriving here. Every breath you take is part of a shared rhythm. Inhale, and you receive the world. Exhale, and you give something back. This exchange happens whether you're thinking about it or not. It's a natural reminder that you are not separate from anything, not from the world around you, not from the people you love, and not from the countless beings you'll never meet. Imagine the golden light of compassion still glowing softly around you, and see how threads of that light gently connect you to others. They extend outward in all directions, not as heavy ropes, but as delicate, shimmering strands, alive, vibrant, constantly moving. Some threads feel strong and familiar, connecting you to those closest to your heart. Others feel lighter, whisper thin, linking you to strangers living their own quiet stories. And still others, so subtle they're almost invisible, connect you to the wind, the earth, and the stars. These threads remind you that nothing you feel, nothing you experience, happens in isolation. You may recall moments in your life when you felt alone, burdened by thoughts or fears that seemed uniquely yours. Yet here, sitting beneath the wide-reaching branches of the Bodhi tree, you begin to sense the truth. Others have felt your fears, carried your worries, stumbled where you've stumbled. There are people somewhere in the world who have cried for the same reasons you have, and others who have laughed in ways that would echo your own joy. This realization does not diminish your experiences. It validates them. It offers a soft place for your heart to rest. As you breathe gently, imagine following one of those glowing threads outward from your chest. It leads you to someone far away, perhaps a person sitting quietly with their own worries, perhaps someone lying awake hoping for comfort, perhaps someone walking beneath a different sky but feeling the same ache you carry. Your compassion touches them, and their quiet strength, in some unseen way, touches you as well. Interbeing means that no heart truly beats alone. Let the thread guide you back to yourself. Notice how your body feels now, not as a separate object, but as part of a greater living landscape. The ground beneath you supports not just your weight, but the roots of the tree behind you. Those roots drink water that once fell as rain, rain that once formed in clouds, clouds that once drifted across distant oceans. Everything you touch, everything you breathe, everything you see is part of an unbroken circle of existence. You belong to it simply by being here. The Buddha taught that this understanding brings profound ease. When you recognize your interconnectedness, the tight grip of loneliness begins to soften. You feel held, not by one person, but by the entire fabric of life. Your joys are shared. Your sorrows are shared. Even your quiet moments of reflection ripple gently across the world, influencing it in ways you may never see. Just as you are shaped by the world is shaped by you, moment by moment. Imagine now that the golden threads around you begin to glow brighter, linking you to the environment that surrounds you. The leaves rustling overhead, the gentle sway of branches, the quiet hum of life. Everything becomes part of the same calm rhythm. You might even sense a feeling of subtle gratitude rising from the world itself, as though the earth is acknowledging your presence with quiet appreciation. Your breath deepens, your body feels lighter, and your awareness widens. Let this understanding wash over you like warm rain. You are not separate from life. You are life, You are not outside the world, you are woven into it. Every step you've taken, every breath you've drawn, every thought you've held has been part of something vast and deeply connected. Interbeing reminds you that even in moments of struggle, you have never been alone, not truly. As you sit with this truth, the golden threads around you begin to guide your awareness gently outward. Their warm glow seems to lead toward a new landscape, one that calls you to explore even deeper calm. You feel the pull of a peaceful setting waiting ahead, a place where you can walk slowly, listen deeply, and continue this journey of awakening. Somewhere nearby, beyond the soft glow of compassion, a forest begins to emerge, not as a distant idea, but as a living space inviting you forward. Its trees whisper with ancient wisdom, its paths wind gently through soft earth and filtered light. This forest of tranquility awaits you, ready to hold you in its quiet embrace as your journey continues into deeper peace. As the gentle threads of interconnection continue to glow softly around you, the world seems to open further, as if inviting you into a deeper layer of peace. In the distance, just beyond the warmth of your compassionate field, a quiet forest begins to take shape. Its presence is steady and welcoming, like an old friend who has been waiting for you. The Buddha's teachings often compare the mind to a vast landscape, sometimes stormy, sometimes clear, sometimes tangled. And now you are gently being guided into a place where the mind can settle, where the noise of the world softens into silence. Imagine yourself taking a slow step forward. The ground beneath your feet feels soft, cushioned by fallen leaves that have rested here for seasons upon seasons. Each step creates a gentle whisper, a peaceful reminder that you are moving deeper into calm. The air cools slightly as you enter beneath the canopy of tall trees, their branches arching above you like protective hands. Their leaves shift and sway in a rhythm that feels ancient and comforting, as though this forest has been holding silence for centuries, waiting for travelers like you to rediscover its stillness. As you walk, let yourself take in the subtle sounds around you, the quiet rustle of leaves overhead, the distant call of a night bird, the faint hum of wind weaving slowly between branches. These sounds do not disturb you, they soothe you. In this forest, nothing demands your attention, nothing hurries your pace. Every sound, every flicker of movement becomes a gentle part of the landscape that welcomes you as you are. The Buddha's presence feels close here, not in the form of words or guidance, but as a quiet assurance that you are on the right path. You might imagine him walking a few steps ahead, hands clasped softly, his pace slow and deliberate. He doesn't look back, because he knows you will follow in your own time. He trusts your steps. And as you walk deeper into the forest, you begin to trust them too. Take a breath, slow and full, and notice the scent of the earth. Rich, grounding, alive. The forest floor holds countless fallen leaves, each one a reminder of impermanence. They once clung to branches high above, catching sunlight and rain, and now they rest peacefully beneath your feet. Nothing in the forest resists change, and because of that, everything feels balanced. You may notice how your own heart responds to this simple truth, loosening its grip around old worries, letting the breath flow more freely. Sunlight filters through the branches above, forming soft dappled patterns on the path ahead. The light moves gently as the leaves sway, creating a quiet dance that seems to guide your gaze downward, then upward, then deeper into the beautiful stillness around you. The forest does not try to impress or overwhelm you. It simply exists, patient and whole. In its presence, you feel your own thoughts, slowing down, becoming softer and more spacious. Feel your footsteps sink into the cool earth as you walk. Each step sends a subtle vibration through your body, reminding you of the connection between movement and grounding. The earth holds you without question, the same way it holds the towering trees and the smallest seedling. You begin to sense that you belong here, not as a visitor, but as part of the same living, breathing community the forest embraces. As you continue walking, a gentle breeze moves through the trees. It brushes against your skin like a soft whisper, inviting you to open even further to the calm surrounding you. The breeze carries with it the scent of moss, the faint sweetness of blooming flowers, hidden deeper in the forest, and the fresh coolness of water somewhere nearby. The forest seems to be guiding you toward that water, toward a place even more serene. Walk slowly, listening to the rhythm of your breath in harmony with the gentle sounds around you. With each inhale, the forest grows clearer. With each exhale, your inner world grows quieter. The branches sway overhead in slow, graceful arcs, and beams of soft light illuminate small patches of earth, guiding your path like lanterns placed by nature itself. As you move further in, the sounds of the forest shift. The rustling leaves soften, the wind becomes quieter, and from somewhere up ahead, you begin to hear something new, the faint, calming sound of water. It's not rushing or loud, just a peaceful, steady presence. Perhaps it is a lake, or a pond, or a wide, still pool formed beneath the canopy. Whatever it may be, it calls to you gently, urging you onward with the promise of deeper reflection. Your steps become even slower as you approach the source of the sound. The trees begin to thin, revealing glimpses of light reflecting off a smooth surface. The air grows cooler, fresher. There is a growing sense of clarity around you, as if the forest has guided you exactly where you need to be. And then, as you take one final step, the trees open fully, and before you lies a serene, glass-like lake, perfectly still, mirroring the sky and the gentle curve of the surrounding forest. Its surface reflects not just the world around it, but something inside you, something calm, something clear, something waiting to be seen. With the Buddha's quiet presence beside you, you feel ready to sit beside the lake, gaze into its peaceful stillness, and discover the reflections that rise from its depth. The forest opens like a gentle curtain, revealing the still lake resting quietly at its heart. Its surface is so smooth that it appears almost like a sheet of glass laid lovingly across the earth. Even the slightest breeze barely touches it, and when it does, the ripples glide outward with a softness that feels almost sacred. As you step toward the water's edge, the air becomes cooler, carrying with it a sense of ease that settles into your chest. This lake, calm and unbroken, waits patiently, inviting you to sit, to breathe, to see yourself reflected not as the world sees you, but as you truly are. Lower yourself onto the soft ground beside the shoreline. Feel the cool presence of the earth beneath you. The Buddha's quiet presence rests somewhere near, not speaking, not urging, only offering gentle companionship as you gaze into the mirrored surface before you. When you first look, you may see only the outer reflection, the sky, the forest, the branches arching overhead. But as your breath deepens and your mind grows still, the water slowly begins to reveal something more. Lean a little closer and look into the lake. Notice how it reflects with such clarity when nothing disturbs it. Your reflection appears soft, peaceful, almost glowing in the gentle light of the forest. This lake becomes a teacher, showing you what your inner self looks like when the mind is calm, smooth, clear, and open. The surface mirrors your face, yes, but also the deeper part of you beyond expression. The part that longs for peace, the part that knows peace is possible. Take a slow breath, feeling the cool air inside your lungs. As you exhale, let your eyes rest on the tiny ripples forming near the water's edge. Watch how they move, expanding outward, fading gently, disappearing without struggle. Each ripple is like a thought or emotion, arising naturally, lasting for a moment, then dissolving back into stillness. The lake reflects not just clarity, but impermanence. Nothing stays. Nothing clings. Everything moves in its time. Let your mind rest on this truth. Consider how many moments in your life felt overwhelming, when they came, yet eventually softened, faded, transformed into memory. Every worry, every fear, every burst of sadness has followed the same path as these ripples, appearing, moving, dissolving. You are watching the natural rhythm of the mind made visible in the gentle dance of water. Dip your fingers into the lake if you'd like. Feel the coolness around your skin as the surface shifts. Watch how the ripples widen effortlessly, never fighting, never clinging, simply moving with the energy that gave them life. When you lift your hand, the water returns to stillness on its own, without force. Your mind, too, carries this capacity for returning to calm, even when disturbed. It simply needs space, kindness, and awareness, qualities you have been cultivating on this journey. Let your gaze soften as you watch your reflection again. Notice how the water reflects your presence without judgment. It doesn't label you, criticize you, or hold on to any story about you. It shows you exactly as you are. No more, no less. You begin to see yourself with the same gentle clarity, free from the narratives your mind has woven over time. Beneath those stories lies the simple truth. You are a being capable of deep stillness, deep kindness, and deep wisdom. Allow your breath to match the rhythm of the lake. Inhale, and the surface seems to brighten. Exhale, and the ripples soften into stillness. The forest around you becomes quiet, as if bowing to this moment of reflection. Even the leaves seem to hold their breath, honoring the clarity unfolding inside you. Imagine that the lake is not outside you but within you. Picture its surface resting at the center of your chest, perfectly still, perfectly clear. Any thought that enters your mind becomes a gentle ripple across this inner lake, moving softly across its surface before fading back into clarity. You don't need to chase thoughts away or cling to them. You only need to watch them pass, knowing they cannot disturb your true stillness. This inner lake has always been within you, even when you could not feel it. It is the natural state of your mind, calm, reflective, wise. The Buddha understood this and guided others to rediscover it. Tonight, you experience it in the peaceful quiet of this forest, in the cool air brushing your skin, in the silent companionship of the Bodhi tree. As you sit beside the water, feeling its presence resonate with your own stillness, a soft understanding begins to take shape. Just as the lake changes with every ripple but always returns to calm, so too does your life move in cycles of change. The trees around you grow and shed their leaves. The wind rises and falls. Light shifts. Seasons turn. Thoughts appear and dissolve. Everything is in motion, and yet beneath it all, peace remains possible. Your time with the lake leaves a gentle imprint on your awareness, a quiet reminder that impermanence is not something to fear, but something to accept. The ripples, the shifting, reflections, the moving breeze all whisper the same truth. Nothing remains the same forever, and in that truth lies freedom. As you rise slowly from the lakeside, carrying this understanding with you, the forest path opens once more. Ahead lies a deeper exploration of this natural truth, the quiet, comforting wisdom of impermanence itself, waiting to unfold as you continue your journey. As you leave the lakeside, carrying the quiet clarity it offered, the forest path unfolds gently before you. The air feels lighter now, touched by the insight that rose from watching ripples appear and disappear. Each step you take seems to echo the truth the water revealed. Everything moves, everything shifts, everything changes. This is not a burden to bear, but a soft invitation to release your tight hold on the things that trouble you. Impermanence, once feared or resisted, begins to show itself as a quiet gift. The Buddha taught that nothing in this world remains exactly as it is, not joy, not sorrow, not fear, not comfort. At first glance, this truth can feel unsettling. You may wonder why peace cannot stay forever, why happiness must fade, why the moments you love cannot remain frozen in time. But as you walk through the forest now, listening to the gentle rustle of leaves overhead, you begin to sense the beauty of this natural ebb and flow. Pause for a moment and look at a leaf drifting down from a branch above. It spirals softly, landing on the ground with barely a whisper. That leaf was once tender and green, catching the sunlight, drinking the rain, offering shade to small creatures. Now it returns to the earth, becoming nourishment for future growth. Nothing has truly vanished. It has only transformed. Impermanence makes room for renewal. Take another breath and feel how each inhale arrives fresh and new, and each exhale leaves without regret. If the breath were to stay the same, if it never released, you could not live. Life itself depends on change. Even your heartbeat pulses with constant motion, rising and falling, moving blood in continuous cycles. Your body, your mind, your emotions, everything participates in this dance of coming and going. Let yourself walk a little deeper into the forest and take notice of the play of sunlight filtering through the branches. The patterns shift with every breeze, never repeating the exact same shape. No matter how many times you return to this forest in your imagination, it will never be exactly the same. And that is part of its beauty. Impermanence allows each moment to be unique, precious, fleeting in the most meaningful way. Think back to the worries that once felt heavy on your heart. Some of them may already feel different now, not because the circumstances have changed, but because your relationship to them has softened. Worries follow the same natural rhythm as ripples on the lake. They appear, they peak, and then, given space and compassion, they fade. Impermanence shows you that no worry has the power to define your entire life. It is only a moment passing through your awareness. The Buddha once compared clinging to anything, good or bad, to grasping a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. But when you hold it gently, it rests peacefully in your palm. Allow your worries, your hopes, your experiences to rest lightly, knowing they will change in their time. This gentleness frees you from the constant struggle to control what was never meant to stay fixed. The forest path bends slightly, leading you to a small clearing where shafts of sunlight fall in warm, golden beams. Take a seat here, if only in your mind. Feel the warmth on your skin. Listen to the sounds around you, the distant chirping of insects, the faint rustle of animals moving through the brush, the steady breath of the forest itself. Everything here is in motion, yet nothing feels rushed. This is the essence of impermanence, effortless transformation. As you sit in this clearing, imagine placing one of your worries in the palm of your hand. Look at it gently, not with judgment or fear, but with curiosity. Notice its shape, its weight, its texture. And then, imagine opening your hand. Watch the worry lift like a small puff of smoke, rising into the air and dissolving into nothing. You do not have to force it. Impermanence will take care of the rest. You may find a sense of relief spreading through you, a subtle loosening in your chest or shoulders. Impermanence, understood deeply, does not take peace away from you. It offers it. It reminds you that no pain is permanent, no mistake unchangeable, no moment final. Even the difficult times are temporary guests passing through the house of your life. Let your awareness settle into this truth. Feel how light your body becomes when you stop holding on to what must inevitably shift. Feel how your breath flows more smoothly when you trust that every moment good or bad, arrives and departs naturally. Feel how your heart opens just a little wider when you stop bracing against change. As you rise again and continue along the path, the forest seems brighter, gentler. The air feels clearer. You begin to sense that the gift of impermanence is leading you towards something profound, the ability to rest fully in the present moment. If everything changes, then this moment, this single breath, this single heartbeat, is all the more precious. Ahead, the path narrows softly, guiding you toward a deeper experience of being fully here, fully alive. Wrapped in the calm understanding of impermanence, you step forward into the quiet embrace of the present moment, where peace waits patiently for you to arrive. The forest clearing glows softly around you, warmed by the understanding of impermanence that now rests gently in your heart. Each breath feels lighter, a little freer, as though something deep within you has finally loosened its grip. As you continue along the quiet path, the world seems to slow even more. The rustle of leaves becomes clearer. The scent of the earth becomes richer. The air feels smoother against your skin. You begin to notice details that would normally slip past you. Tiny beams of sunlight weaving through branches, the shimmer of dust drifting lazily in the light, the subtle rhythm of the forest breathing with you. You walk with a sense of ease, unhurried, unburdened. The understanding that everything changes opens a new doorway within you, one that invites you not into the past or the future, but into the soft, steady truth of this moment. The Buddha often taught that peace cannot be found in memories or in imagined outcomes. It lives only in the present. And now, with every step you take, you begin to enter that living presence fully. Pause for a moment and simply stand in stillness. Feel the ground beneath your feet, firm and cool, supporting your entire weight without effort. Feel the air brushing your skin, gentle and constant. Notice the rise and fall of your breath, the subtle expansion of your chest, the quiet softening of each exhale. This moment asks nothing from you. It doesn't require you to solve anything, achieve anything, or become anything. It welcomes you exactly as you are. Let your mind rest here, like a leaf drifting onto still water. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing calls you away. The forest around you continues moving in its natural rhythm, yet you remain untouched by urgency. You are simply here, breathing, being. And in this simplicity, an extraordinary peace begins to unfold. The present moment has a quality unlike anything else. It is spacious, clear, expansive. When you fully inhabit it, the worries that once occupied your mind lose their strength. They may still exist somewhere in the background, but they no longer hold you tightly. They become like faint echoes, unable to disturb the quiet center forming inside you. The Buddha described this as dwelling in the here and now, letting go of what has been, and releasing the grip on what has not yet come. In this place, the mind becomes soft, the body becomes light. Awareness widens until everything around you feels connected to your breath, your heartbeat, your very presence. Imagine now that the forest responds to your stillness. The trees seem to lean closer, as if listening to your breath. The air feels warmer, more intimate, wrapping around you like a gentle embrace. Even the soft glow of light appears steadier, as though the entire landscape has paused with you. When you allow yourself to fully rest in the present, the world meets you with its own calmness, its own quiet blessing. As you continue to breathe, bring your attention to the sensations within your body. Notice the coolness at the tip of your nose with each inhale. Notice the warmth in your throat and chest as the air moves through you. Notice the subtle heaviness in your arms and legs, signs that your body is settling more deeply into ease. Let your awareness flow through you like a slow, warm river. If thoughts arise, let them come. They are not intruders, only small movements of the mind. Allow them to drift in, and drift out without judgment. You can watch them gently, the same way you watched clouds earlier. And as you do, you may begin to notice the space between them, the quiet gaps where pure awareness shines through. These spaces are like tiny windows into the present moment, showing you the stillness that exists beneath all thinking. This stillness becomes more familiar with each breath. It begins to feel like home. The present moment no longer feels like something you have to reach for. It begins to surround you, hold you, nourish you. You realize that you can simply rest here, without effort, without strain. Just being is enough. Let this realization sink softly into your heart. Feel how spacious the chest becomes when you stop trying to chase the future or repair the past. Feel how the breath flows more smoothly when you release the need to control every detail of your experience. In the present moment, you are free from all the stories that once weighed you down. Here, nothing is missing, nothing is wrong, everything is complete. As this awareness deepens, a gentle warmth begins to rise from the center of your chest. Subtle, comforting, steady. It feels like the first spark of something sacred, something alive. The present moment not only offers peace, it awakens the quiet radiance that has always lived within your heart. This inner glow begins to shine softly through your body, illuminating a deeper truth, waiting patiently beneath your stillness. Your journey now moves toward this inner radiance, inviting you to explore the quiet wisdom that lives at the very core of your being. Guided by the Buddha's presence, you step gently into the next chapter of your path, the serene discovery of the heart's quiet glow. As you continue resting in the present moment, feeling the soft spaciousness it offers, a gentle warmth begins to rise from deep within your chest. It isn't sudden or forceful. It emerges the way dawn light slowly brushes across a quiet horizon. This warmth spreads upward and outward, like the glow of a lantern being lit from the inside. You may have felt flickers of it before. A moment of tenderness, a wave of gratitude, a brief sense of connection. But now it grows steadier, brighter, as though your heart has been waiting patiently for you to notice. Place a hand over your chest if you wish, and feel the pulse of life beneath your palm. This beating, constant and reliable, has carried you through every chapter of your life. Yet beneath the physical rhythm, something else moves, something softer, wiser, older than your thoughts. The Buddha spoke often of this inner radiance, the natural clarity of the heart that shines even when clouded by worry or sorrow. Tonight, as you sit in the quiet forest, that light becomes easier to sense. Breathe gently, allowing the warm glow to deepen. Imagine the heart as a small lantern carried by a wandering traveler, a lantern that has never gone out even on the darkest nights. Perhaps the flame grew dim at times, flickering against strong winds or long stretches of difficulty. But it has endured. It has survived. And now, with the mind calm and the present moment open, the lantern brightens once more, illuminating the inner landscape of your being. The radiance you feel is not something you must earn or create. It is your natural state, revealed only when the noise of the world quiets down. This gentle light holds no judgment, no harsh expectations. It carries warmth, compassion, and a wisdom that understands you more deeply than your thoughts ever could. When you listen to it, the world inside you becomes clearer, softer, kinder. Let your awareness rest gently in this glow. With each inhale, imagine the light expanding slightly. With each exhale, imagine it settling deeper into your heart. Feel it fill your chest, spreading warmth across your ribs, your shoulders, your collarbones. Feel it move down into your belly, relaxing the places that once held tension. Feel it travel into your arms, all the way to your fingertips, spreading a subtle tingling sensation of comfort and ease. The forest around you seems to respond to this radiance. The leaves shimmer faintly in the soft light, and the air carries a sense of calm reverence. Even the silence holds a kind of warmth now, as though the world is reflecting your inner brightness back to you. This is the nature of the heart's radiance. It illuminates quietly, touching everything without effort. As the glow deepens, memories or emotions may rise gently to the surface. Old hurts, lingering fears, regrets you've carried for longer than you realized. They appear like shadows passing through the lantern's light, not to overwhelm you but to be seen, acknowledged, softened. In this warm radiance, nothing needs to be pushed away. The light doesn't fight the shadows. It simply surrounds them, revealing their shape, then allowing them to dissolve. You may notice one particular burden that feels heavier than the others. Perhaps it has followed you through different moments of your life. An old memory, a responsibility, a fear of disappointment, a pressure you've placed on yourself. As the heart's glow illuminates this burden, it begins to lose its sharpness. Instead of clinging tightly, it becomes something you can hold gently, examine, and eventually release. This is the power of the heart's radiance. It doesn't demand that you let go. It simply gives you the clarity to understand when holding on is no longer serving you. It shows you that release is not abandonment. It is an act of care, an expression of compassion for yourself. The heart's light becomes a guide, showing you the path toward freedom. Place both hands over your heart if it feels comfortable, and let the warmth deepen. Imagine the light growing brighter, with each breath becoming a beacon of understanding. Feel it illuminate every corner of your inner world, revealing truths you may have hidden, ignored, or misunderstood. Feel its softness, never harsh, never urgent, encouraging you to be honest with yourself. The more you bask in this radiance, the more you realize how much space it creates within you. Space for forgiveness, space for healing, space for release. The heart's light is gentle, but it is also powerful, capable of softening even the heaviest burdens. And as this realization settles into you, the warmth in your chest feels steady, unwavering. You begin to sense that the heart is ready for something deeper, something liberating. The glow that illuminates your inner world also shows you what no longer needs to be carried. Ahead on your journey lies a moment of release, a chance to set down what has weighed you down for far too long. With the Buddha's peaceful presence beside you and the heart's quiet radiance guiding your way, you are ready to take the next step, letting go of the burdens that no longer belong to you. The gentle radiance in your heart continues to glow, illuminating even the spaces within you that once lay hidden in shadow. As its light softens your inner world, you begin to notice the weight you've carried, burdens tucked into the corners of your mind, woven quietly into your thoughts, resting heavily in your chest and shoulders. These burdens have traveled with you for so long that you may have forgotten what it feels like to move without them. But now, in the warmth of your heart's quiet light, you can see them clearly for the first time. Imagine that as you walk along the forest path, the glow from your chest creates a soft circle of light around your feet. Within this circle, something begins to appear on the ground ahead of you. Small stones, each one different in size and shape. Some are smooth, weathered by time. Others are jagged, sharp in places. These stones represent the emotional weights you've been carrying. Fears, regrets, resentments, responsibilities you shouldered alone, expectations that grew too heavy, memories you never had the space to set down. Pause and look at the stones scattered before you. There is no judgment here, no pressure, only recognition. Each stone formed for a reason. Some came from painful moments, others from misunderstandings, others from the desire to protect yourself or those you love. The Buddha taught that suffering often arises from carrying more than our hearts were meant to hold. Tonight, the forest offers you a quiet place to unburden yourself. Gently kneel and pick up one of the stones. Feel its weight in your hand. Notice its temperature, its texture. This stone may represent a fear you've carried, one that whispered to you in difficult moments, convincing you that you were not ready or not enough. Look at it without turning away. The heart's radiance shines softly on it, revealing that fear has no substance beyond what the mind gives it. Hold the stone with compassion, acknowledging the role it once played in your life. Then, when you're ready, place it beside the path. Let it rest there, on the earth that welcomes all things without judgment. Feel your breath deepen slightly as you release it. The weight leaves your hand first, then your arm, then your chest. A quiet space opens within you, like a window being cracked open to let fresh air in. Pick up another stone, perhaps one shaped from regret. Regret often lingers longer than fear, tying threads to moments long past. It reminds you of choices you would change if you could go back, of words you wish you hadn't said, of opportunities you think you missed. But regrets are echoes, not prisons. Hold this stone gently, and acknowledge that the person you were then acted with the knowledge and heart they had at the time. You cannot blame someone who was still learning. Place this stone alongside the first, and feel your heart grow lighter, the radiance expanding gently. Another stone may represent resentment, heavy, sharp, resistant. This one may be more difficult to hold. Resentment is often born from hurt, from moments when someone you trusted acted without care, or when life seemed unfair. You don't need to justify or diminish the pain behind it. Simply hold the stone, feel its weight, and understand that carrying resentment only strains your own heart. When you are ready, set this stone down as well. Let the earth hold it for you. Continue picking up the stones, one by one. Some may feel small, almost insignificant. Worries that never came to pass. Tension you carried out of habit. Others may feel large and deeply rooted. Old grief, unspoken sorrow. The pressure to be strong for others even when you were tired. Whatever their size or shape, the act of placing them gently by the path is an act of healing. You are not throwing anything away. You are simply choosing not to carry what no longer serves you. With each stone set down, your breath becomes easier. Your shoulders relax. Your chest feels more open. The forest seems to brighten slightly, as though approving of your courage. Even the air around you feels lighter, filled with a soft sense of release. When the final stone has been placed beside the path, step back and look at them resting together. They no longer weigh on your heart or body. They no longer shape your steps or cloud your thoughts. They rest peacefully where they belong, outside of you, no longer carried, no longer hidden. Stand tall and feel the lightness in your body. A gentle breeze travels through the forest, brushing against your skin like a quiet blessing. Your heart glows more brightly now, freed from the heaviness it has carried. In this spaciousness, something else begins to rise, a tender whisper in your chest, a longing to soften even further. The space created by releasing your burdens opens naturally into something deeper, something compassionate, something healing. You begin to sense that the next step on your journey is not only about letting go of the stones you've carried, but about softening your heart toward the people and memories connected to them. The glow within you beckons forward, guiding you gently into the realm of forgiveness that now awaits. The last of the stones now rests quietly beside the forest path, their weight no longer burdening your heart. As you stand in the soft glow of your own inner radiance, you feel a spaciousness opening within you, an airy, gentle lightness that wasn't there before. With the burdens set down, something deeper begins to stir in the quiet space they left behind. It moves slowly, tenderly, rising like a warm breeze from within the chest. This feeling is the first whisper of forgiveness. Forgiveness does not rush forward. It appears only when there is room for it, when the heart is no longer weighed down by what it has been clinging to. Now, in this newfound openness, forgiveness begins to show itself, not as an obligation, not as a demand, not as something you must accomplish, but as a softening, a gentle easing, a loosening around the places where hurt once lived. Take a slow breath in and feel the warmth expand through the chest. Forgiveness begins here, in this warmth, in this quiet willingness to soften. It is not about forgetting what happened or pretending that hurt was never real. Forgiveness means allowing the heart to unclench, to release the tight grip it has held for too long. It means choosing your own peace over the heaviness of resentment. It means remembering that you are worthy of healing. Imagine sitting once more beneath the sheltering branches of the Bodhi tree. The forest has grown even more peaceful, as though it honors the delicate work unfolding within you. The breeze moves gently through the leaves, producing a soft, rhythmic whisper, almost like the forest is breathing along with you. Lay a hand over your heart and feel the quiet pulsing beneath your palm. This steady rhythm is your reminder that life continues to move forward moment by moment, breath by breath. Bring to mind someone or something connected to the heavy stones you left behind. There may be discomfort or resistance, or even a faint echo of old pain. That's all right. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to force anything at all. Just notice the feeling with kindness, the way you might observe a small flame flickering in the wind. Forgiveness begins with simply acknowledging what is still tender. Take another slow breath. Let the inhale lift your chest slightly, and let the exhale soften everything it touches. Imagine your heart as a small, warm lantern. With each breath, its light grows, just a little brighter, just a little steadier. Now imagine that the warm glow begins to surround the memory or person you're thinking of, not to erase what happened, but to ease the grip of pain around it. In this gentle light, you begin to see that every person, including yourself, acts from the conditions that shaped them. Their fears, their insecurities, their misunderstandings, their own unhealed wounds. This understanding doesn't excuse harm, but it provides perspective. It allows compassion to arise without denying the truth of what you felt. Forgiveness is not about saying, "It was fine." It is about choosing to stop carrying the wound forward. If there is someone you've struggled to forgive, imagine them standing at a distance in the quiet forest. They do not speak. They do not move toward you. They simply stand there, a part of the landscape. You are not here to reopen old pain. You are here to soften your relationship with the memory, to free yourself from its hold. Let the warm glow from your heart extend toward them, not as approval, not as reconciliation, but as release. Whisper inwardly, with the gentlest voice, "May you find peace. May I find peace. May this pain loosen its hold on us both." The words do not need to be perfect. They only need to be sincere. Perhaps forgiveness feels possible, or maybe it feels distant. Both are acceptable. Forgiveness is a path, not a single step. Tonight, your heart is simply learning how to take the first gentle breaths of release. Now turn your attention inward once more. You may realize that forgiveness is also something you must sometimes offer yourself. For the mistakes you've made, for the times you didn't know better, for the moments when you acted from fear instead of wisdom. Place both hands over your heart and whisper inwardly, "I forgive myself for being human." Feel how the chest expands slightly, as though giving your heart permission to breathe more deeply. Forgiveness softens the tension you didn't realize you were holding. It opens the inner space where compassion, healing, and wisdom can grow. And as your heart softens, something else begins to rise within the spaciousness, a tender sense of appreciation. Gratitude for how far you've come. Gratitude for the courage to let go. Gratitude for the chance to begin again. Gratitude for the journey itself. The Buddha taught that when the heart softens, gratitude naturally follows, like a flower blooming in warm sunlight. And now, as your inner radiance grows steadier, you feel the first gentle petals unfurling inside you, ready to open fully as your journey continues into the warmth of gratitude that awaits. As the softening warmth of forgiveness settles into your chest, the forest around you feels brighter, as though it has taken a long, peaceful breath with you. The air carries a freshness that wasn't there before, a lightness that brushes gently against your skin. In the space where resentment once lived, something new begins to flow, a quiet, gentle stream of gratitude. It moves slowly at first, like a trickle forming along a forest path, but the more attention you give it, the more it gathers strength, becoming a steady current that nourishes the heart. Gratitude does not arrive with noise or fanfare. It unfolds quietly, like water finding its natural path through soft earth. Begin by noticing the simplest things, the feel of the ground supporting you, the sound of leaves shifting overhead, the rhythm of your breath still moving peacefully in your body. Each of these small details holds a kind of quiet beauty. Gratitude grows from the gentle recognition of these ordinary miracles. Place a hand lightly over your heart and feel the warmth that still lingers there. It pulses with life that has carried you through storms and moments of grace alike. You may realize as you sit with this warmth that there is so much to appreciate in the simple act of being alive. Gratitude is not about ignoring suffering or pretending everything is perfect. It is about recognizing that even in difficult times, moments of beauty still exist. Moments you might have overlooked when your heart was weighed down. Let the stream of gratitude flow a bit stronger now. Think of someone who has helped you in ways big or small. A friend who listened. A family member who stood by you. A stranger who smiled at you on a difficult day. Feel the warmth expand as you acknowledge these moments of support. You don't need to relive them in detail. Simply feel the gratitude rising like a tide within your chest. The Buddha often taught that gratitude softens the heart and opens it to abundance. Not abundance in the material sense, but abundance in awareness, an understanding that life is filled with countless small blessings that weave themselves into your days. Notice them now. The stability of your body, the clarity of your breath, the path beneath your feet, the gentle company of nature surrounding you, the courage that allowed you to come this far on your journey. Let your gratitude continue flowing outward. Feel it move through your shoulders, lightening them even further. Feel it travel down your arms, into your hands. Perhaps your hands have held sorrow, worry, tension. Now imagine them filling with warmth, as though they are cupping a small pool of golden water. This is your gratitude, gentle, pure, and endlessly replenishing. Turn your attention once more to the forest. Every detail seems to glow with quiet aliveness. The trees, tall and rooted, offering shelter and breath. The moss beneath your feet, soft and resilient. The sunlight filtering through the canopy, painting shifting patterns on the earth. The animals that move quietly through the underbrush, living their own simple rhythms. Let yourself feel grateful for the world's beauty, for its natural wisdom, for its ability to hold both chaos and serenity within the same space. Gratitude deepens when you allow it to touch the ordinary moments of life. Think of a warm drink held between your hands on a cool morning, a moment of laughter that caught you off guard, the softness of a pillow at the end of a long day, the way light falls across a room just right. Each of these moments, small as they seem, carries a quiet grace. When you appreciate them, they shine brighter. If a memory of challenge or sorrow arises, let gratitude flow toward it as well. Not to deny your pain, but to acknowledge the strength you found while moving through it. Gratitude doesn't erase wounds. It honors your resilience. It honors the way you've grown. It honors every step you've taken despite uncertainty or fear. Notice how your breath feels now. Steadier, smoother, touched by a softness that comes from genuinely recognizing the good that surrounds you. Gratitude has a way of turning the mind toward abundance, revealing how much beauty you may have overlooked while struggling beneath old burdens. It reminds you that even now, in this moment, you are held by countless comforts. Let the stream of gratitude widen until it becomes a small river flowing through your body, nourishing every part of you. Feel it reach your legs, soothing muscles that once carried too much tension. Feel it settle into your belly, easing the knots formed by worry. Feel it rise into your throat, softening old words you wish you had spoken or unspoken. Gratitude loosens those small places of tightness you didn't even realize were there. And as this gentle river continues flowing, you begin to sense the fullness of life in all its simplicity. Gratitude reveals that abundance is not something you chase. It is something you notice. It exists in unremarkable moments, in the breath moving through your body, in the ability to feel warmth or peace or tenderness. With this fullness blooming quietly inside you, the path ahead becomes clearer. Gratitude naturally guides you toward recognizing the richness in the ordinary, not just today, but in every moment yet to come. This awareness invites you to explore the beauty hidden in life's simplest details, where peace often begins. And so your journey continues gently into the next chapter, where the abundance found in everyday moments awaits your attention. The gentle river of gratitude continues to flow within you, leaving the forest air feeling lighter, clearer, almost shimmering with quiet appreciation. As you walk deeper into this serene landscape, the path seems to widen without ever changing shape, as though it knows you are ready to see the world with softer eyes. The fullness in your heart begins to settle into a peaceful steadiness, and with it comes a new awareness, one that draws your gaze to the small, unassuming details around you. It is here, in the ordinary and the simple, that abundance quietly reveals itself. Take a slow breath and notice how even the air tastes different now. Cleaner, cooler, touched by the scent of leaves and earth. The forest before you does not boast or parade its beauty. It simply exists, offering you countless gentle wonders with every step. You may never have noticed the delicate patterns on a single leaf, the shimmering threads of a spider's web catching the afternoon light, the subtle shift in color where sunlight meets shadow on the forest floor. Yet each of these small things holds an entire world of detail, each a reminder that life is filled with richness that often goes unseen. Pause beside a small cluster of wildflowers growing near the path. Their petals are thin and fragile, yet vibrant with color. They swayed in storms you never witnessed. They reached for sunlight without needing reward. They bloomed simply because blooming is what they do. Let yourself appreciate them, not for their rarity, but for their quiet persistence. These small things, humble and easily overlooked, are what nourish the world. Feel the ground beneath your feet again. The earth supports every step you take without asking for anything in return. Each pebble, each patch of moss, each root curling beneath the soil, plays its part in the tapestry of the forest. This abundance is not loud or luxurious. It is subtle, patient, and generous, just like the simple blessings that have carried you through your own life. Think of the small moments that have brought you comfort, A warm cup between your hands. The softness of a blanket on a cold night. The sound of rain tapping gently against a window. A shared smile with someone you love. These moments may not have seemed extraordinary at the time, but they have shaped you, sustained you, soothed you in ways grand gestures never could. They are the quiet threads woven through your days, offering warmth when you needed it most. Let your breath fall into a slow, easy rhythm as you remember these simple moments. Notice how they bring a sense of grounding, anchoring you to the present. Peace is not always found in profound revelations or dramatic transformation. Often, it lies in recognizing the soft glow of ordinary life, in noticing the gifts that were always there but slipped beneath your awareness. The Buddha often reminded his followers that enlightenment isn't reached by climbing distant mountains, but by paying attention to the way a single step feels beneath your foot, the way a single breath passes through your chest, the way a single moment unfolds. In this forest, surrounded by stillness, you begin to understand that the path to peace is not made of extraordinary experiences, but of simple ones fully lived. Sit down for a moment upon a patch of moss that feels soft and inviting. Let your hands rest gently on your lap. Feel the quiet pulse of life moving through every part of your body. This, too, is abundance, the gift of a body that breathes, senses, moves, and carries you through the world. You do not need perfection to appreciate this gift. You only need awareness. As you sit, notice the subtle sounds rising around you, a distant bird calling softly into the canopy, the faint rustle of small animals foraging, the slow sigh of wind shifting through branches. These sounds form a kind of natural music, unplanned and spontaneous, yet soothing in a way that touches the heart. They are reminders that life continues all around you, layered and interconnected, offering countless moments to appreciate. Let your gaze fall upon the forest path once more. The sunlight dapples across it in shifting patterns, never the same twice. That simple play of light is another form of abundance, ever-changing, ever offering beauty to anyone who takes the time to notice. You begin to see how much the world has given you, even in moments when you felt distracted or overwhelmed. With every breath, the abundance of simple things fills you with a sense of quiet gratitude, reminding you that life has never stopped offering small gifts. Even in your hardest moments, there were glimmers of comfort. A kind word, a soft place to rest, a gentle breeze, a moment of stillness that allowed you to gather your strength. You may not have seen them then, but they were there, holding you in ways you did not recognize. As the forest path extends before you, a sense of calm purpose rises within you. Appreciating the simple moments of life nurtures humility, grounds your spirit, and brings your awareness inward. You begin to feel a subtle pull, not outward toward the world, but inward toward the quiet sanctuary within your own being. This sanctuary has always been there, waiting patiently beneath layers of worry, distraction, and longing. Now, with a heart full of gratitude and a mind softened by the abundance of the simple world around you, you feel ready to step deeper into this sacred inner space. The path ahead leads you gently toward the sanctuary within yourself, where deeper peace and wisdom wait quietly to be discovered. The abundance of simple things continues to glow gently around you, filling your awareness with a quiet fullness that seems to hum beneath your skin. As you walk along the forest path, this warmth begins to turn inward, guiding your attention deeper into yourself. The world outside softens, not disappearing, but becoming a gentle backdrop to something more intimate, something more profound. Beneath the gratitude and stillness you've cultivated, there is a space within you that has been waiting patiently, a sanctuary untouched by worry or noise. And now, you feel its subtle pull, inviting you to step inside. The forest around you begins to shift. The trees seem to lean closer, as though forming a natural archway. Their leaves rustle in a quiet, rhythmic pattern that echoes the steady beat of your heart. The light softens into a warm golden hue, illuminating the path with a gentle glow. There is no urgency, no pressure, only a sense of welcome. You feel as if you are being guided, not by force, but by the calm wisdom that has been growing inside you with each step of this journey. As you move forward, the air becomes stiller, quieter. The forest floor beneath your feet feels softer, almost like moss giving way under gentle steps. The sounds of the world become muted. The chirping of distant insects fades into silence. The rustle of leaves becomes a soft whisper. Even the wind seems to pause, respecting the depth of where you are headed. You are entering a space that is not bound by the forest alone. It is a mirror of the sanctuary within your own heart. Ahead, the path opens into a small clearing bathed in a soft, ethereal light. At its center stands a simple stone structure, shaped like a small temple but modest and welcoming, not grand or imposing. Its edges are smooth, worn by time in the most gentle way, as if countless moments of peace have settled into its foundation. This place feels familiar, as though you have been here before in quiet dreams, in moments of exhaustion, when you sought comfort without knowing where it might be found. Step closer and notice the details. Vines draping softly along the entrance, their leaves shimmering slightly in the warm light. Small stones arranged in a perfect circle around the structure, and the faint scent of jasmine and cedar lingering in the air. Everything about this sanctuary speaks of calm, patience, and ancient understanding. It is neither loud nor demanding. It simply exists for you, a resting place created from the quiet wisdom within your own being. Place your hand on the smooth stone doorway. Feel its coolness beneath your palm. In that moment, something in your heart responds. A soft exhale, a loosening of something that had silently tightened over time. This sanctuary offers no expectations. It asks nothing from you. It exists for one purpose: to hold you gently, just as you are. Step inside. The interior is dimly lit by a warm, golden glow that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The air is still, soft, carrying the scent of sandalwood. There are no decorations, no symbols, no distractions. The space is open, uncluttered, pure in its simplicity. It feels like stepping into the center of your own heart, a place untouched by fear or judgment, a space where your truest self has always lived in quiet patience. Sit down on the smooth floor. The moment your body meets the ground, a wave of calm moves through you from head to toe. Your breath settles into a slow, steady rhythm. Your thoughts soften, drifting through your mind without grasping or urgency. You feel as though time has paused, not trapped or frozen, but suspended in a way that allows you to rest in the deepest possible way. This is your sanctuary, a place beyond effort, beyond expectation, beyond the noise of daily life. Here, all parts of you are welcome. The parts that have healed, the parts still aching, the parts that shine brightly, and the parts that hide in shadow. Nothing needs to be fixed or corrected. Everything simply is. Allow yourself to sink deeper into this sense of safety. Feel the quiet embrace of the space around you, the gentle warmth supporting you from within. Your mind begins to open, not outward toward the world, but inward toward the deeper truth that lives beneath your daily thoughts. You begin to feel the presence of the Buddha, not as a figure outside yourself, but as a quiet wisdom rising from your own inner stillness. As you rest in your sanctuary, The glow around you grows slightly brighter. It fills the space with a peaceful warmth that seems to dissolve any lingering tension. You realize that this sanctuary was never separate from you. It has always been here, waiting beneath layers of worry and noise. You simply needed the space, the quiet, and the courage to enter it. In this deep stillness, something begins to shift. Not a thought, not an emotion, but an awareness. You begin to sense that within this sanctuary lies a deeper meeting, a moment of connection that goes beyond your individual self. Somewhere ahead, the Buddha's presence awaits, ready to sit with you in silence and guide you further into the heart of wisdom. The sanctuary around you glows with a quiet warmth, its stillness settling deeper into your body with every slow breath you take. As you rest within this sacred inner space, the air begins to shift, not with movement, but with presence. It is as though someone has entered the room without making a sound. The light grows slightly brighter, steadier, yet softer, like a sunrise filtered gently through clouds. You sense that you are not alone. Something compassionate, ancient, and profoundly peaceful enters your awareness, not from outside, but from the deepest part of your inner world. Turn your attention gently toward the center of the sanctuary. There, seated with effortless calm, rests the Buddha. His form is simple, illuminated by the same golden light that fills the space. His posture is grounded yet relaxed, his expression serene, his presence profound in its quietness. He does not speak, but his silence carries a teaching clearer than any spoken word. It feels like a peaceful river flowing through the room, touching you with its cool, cleansing presence. You move closer to him, drawn, not by urgency, but by a deep sense of belonging. There is no distance here, no sense of hierarchy, no pressure to be anyone other than who you are in this exact moment. The Buddha welcomes you without a gesture, without expectation. His very presence is an invitation to sit beside him and rest in the truth of the moment. Take a seat near him, close enough to feel the warmth radiating gently from his being. It is not heat, but something subtler, a calm that spreads like ripples across a still pool. Sitting here feels natural, as though you have done it many times in lives long past. You may notice that your breath deepens on its own, your body loosens, and your mind quiets, as if aligning itself with the steady peace that surrounds him. Look at the Buddha's face. His eyes are lowered, half open, half resting, seeing the world with kindness rather than effort. His slight smile holds no judgment, no expectation, only compassion. It tells you that everything you have carried, everything you have struggled with, is seen and understood. Not excused or dismissed, but understood with a compassion so deep it dissolves resistance. As you sit in his presence, you begin to sense the difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is the ache of separation. Solitude is the peace of connection with yourself. Here beside the Buddha, solitude becomes a gentle companion. You do not feel small or insignificant. You feel spacious, open, held, and understood in a way that requires no words. The Buddha's silence becomes a teaching. In that silence, you learn that peace does not come from fixing or controlling everything. It comes from sitting quietly with what is, without fighting or fleeing. The sanctuary's stillness is a reflection of the stillness within you, a stillness you may have forgotten, but that has never disappeared. Sitting here, you rediscover it. Let your breath match the Buddha's. Slow, deep, steady. As your breath aligns with his, you begin to feel as though you are breathing with the rhythm of the universe itself. With each inhale, you draw in clarity. With each exhale, you release tension you didn't even realize you were holding. This simple act becomes a meditation, a shared stillness that reveals more than any conversation could. You may notice thoughts arising, questions, memories, worries, but in the Buddha's presence, they seem to lose their urgency. They pass through your mind without lingering. The Buddha does not ask you to banish them. He simply sits, showing you by example that thoughts can come and go without controlling your experience. His serenity becomes a mirror for your own potential. If you watch closely, you might sense that the Buddha is aware of you, not in the limited sense of noticing, but in the profound sense of recognizing your innate goodness. He sees the wisdom within you, the compassion within you, the peace within you. His presence reflects the truth that these qualities have always been part of your nature, even when obscured by fear or doubt. Allow this recognition to settle inside you. Feel the warmth of it spread through your chest, your shoulders, your spine. Sitting beside the Buddha, you begin to feel something awakening, not something new, but something ancient and familiar, a clarity, a sense of belonging, a quiet insight rising like early dawn light. The Buddha does not move, yet his presence guides you gently toward this inner awakening. His silence shows you how to listen, to your breath, to your heart, to the subtle truths that whisper beneath your thoughts. Insight arises naturally when the mind is calm, not because you seek it, but because it has space to be seen. As you sit here breathing softly beside the Buddha, the light within your sanctuary begins to brighten, as if responding to the emerging clarity. You feel more anchored, more open, more ready to explore the deeper wisdom rising within you. And in this expanding quiet, in this luminous stillness, you feel the first touch of insight, awakening, gentle as dawn, steady as breath, leading you toward a new chapter in your journey, where understanding unfolds like soft morning light over a peaceful horizon. Sitting beside the Buddha in the stillness of your inner sanctuary, a subtle shift begins to unfold within you. It is delicate at first, so soft you almost miss it. Like the first pale glow of dawn brushing the edges of a dark horizon, something inside you begins to brighten, not with sudden revelation, not with dramatic clarity, but with the quiet, natural unfolding of understanding that arises when the heart is calm and the mind is open. You remain seated in the gentle warmth of the Buddha's presence, breathing slowly, feeling the steadiness of the moment. The silence between you deepens, but it is not empty. It is full of possibilities, full of truths waiting to be noticed, full of wisdom that has been resting quietly within you. The Buddha does not speak. He simply is. And in his being, you recognize the power of soft illumination, the kind that reveals without forcing, the kind that arises gently from within. Imagine a horizon before you, just beginning to transition from night to morning. The darkness is still present, but it no longer feels heavy or overwhelming. The first light appears like a thin ribbon stretching across the sky, subtle but unmistakable. This is how insight arrives, not in a blaze, but in a whisper. Not all at once, but in tender increments that your heart can receive without fear. As you breathe, the soft glow spreads. It moves through your chest, your shoulders, your mind, gently illuminating places that once felt confusing or tangled. You begin to see your worries for what they truly are. Not fixed truths, not unbreakable outcomes, but shifting ideas, shaped by fear, expectation, and habit. They are like shadows cast by an uncertain light. Once the dawn touches them, they lose their solidity. They loosen. They soften. Let your breath deepen and observe how the mind reacts. Thoughts that once felt urgent now drift through your awareness like early morning mist. They do not cling to you. They move with ease, fading as new clarity rises. Insight arrives not as a judgment, but as a gentle unveiling. Ah, this is why I've held this fear. This is why this memory stayed with me. This is why this pattern repeated. There is no blame, only understanding. The Buddha remains in perfect stillness beside you, his presence steady and reassuring. His calm acts like the horizon itself, holding space for the light to emerge naturally. You realize that wisdom cannot be pushed or forced into existence. It grows when the mind becomes spacious enough to see clearly. In this sanctuary, with your heart open and your burdens set down, there is room for clarity to bloom. The soft dawn light of insight begins revealing truths you've always known but often forgot. You begin to see that peace is not something you must chase. It is something that arises when you stop resisting what is. You begin to see that pain becomes heavier when you clutch it, and lighter when you let it breathe. You begin to notice that your heart is far more resilient than you believed, capable of healing in ways you never imagined. Insight also reveals your strength. Not the loud, forceful kind, but the quiet strength of endurance, compassion, and the willingness to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. You see the moments when you acted with courage without even realizing it. You see the times you showed kindness to others, despite the weight you carried. These realizations shimmer like morning light touching the surface of a calm lake, subtle, beautiful, transformative. As the dawning glow continues to rise within you, it becomes easier to distinguish what truly matters from what was never yours to hold. Some worries dissolve entirely, fading like stars vanishing in daylight. Others simply shrink, no longer towering over your life. You do not need to force them away. The light takes care of them. Insight works this way, gently loosening the knots so you can breathe freely again. Take a deep breath and notice how open your chest feels, how spacious your mind has become. The sanctuary no longer feels like a place you entered. It feels like a place you returned to, a place that was always waiting for you beneath layers of noise and expectation. And now that you are here, the light continues to grow, revealing even more. That healing is possible, that peace is possible, that wisdom has always lived inside you. The Buddha's presence beside you glows more brightly, not because he has changed, but because you have. You are now able to see the light more clearly, to feel it more deeply, to trust it more easily. This insight is the beginning of healing, a gentle but powerful shift that prepares you for the next stage of your journey. As the soft dawn light continues to expand within you, touching every corner of your inner world, you feel something begin to awaken. A readiness, a quiet courage, a willingness to move deeper into yourself. Ahead lies a landscape where old wounds can finally soften under this new illumination. A place where the heart begins to mend in ways steady and profound. With your mind clear and your heart open, you step gently into the next chapter of your journey, the tender unfolding of inner healing. The soft dawn light of insight continues to glow within you, warming the quiet sanctuary where you sit beside the Buddha. That radiance, gentle, steady, unwavering, begins to move through you in deeper ways, touching places inside that have long remained tender or hidden. You feel as though the light is not simply illuminating your inner world but soothing it, softening old tensions, and loosening the tight knots that time and experience gathered within your heart. Healing begins quietly, without effort, like morning sunlight warming frozen ground until it becomes soft again. The Buddha remains beside you, peaceful and still, his presence offering a kind of silent companionship that makes this healing feel safe. There is no rush, no expectation for any part of you to change faster than it's ready to. Healing, like insight, unfolds in its own rhythm, slow, patient, guided by kindness rather than force. As you breathe, you begin to notice how naturally your inner landscape responds to that kindness. Imagine your heart as a wide field at sunrise. The early light stretches across it, revealing patches of soil that are rich and vibrant, as well as areas that have been cracked by dryness or shadowed by neglect. All of it belongs to you. All of it is worthy of care. This field does not need to be perfect. It simply needs to be seen with compassion. Let your breath sweep through the field like a gentle breeze. With each inhale, feel the air cool and refreshing. With each exhale, feel tension melt little by little. The light reveals old footprints, memories of difficult moments, unresolved feelings, lingering doubts. You do not need to erase them. You need only acknowledge them, the way a farmer acknowledges each part of the land before tending to it. In the presence of the Buddha, your heart finds the courage to observe these places with tenderness. Perhaps you notice old hurts that once felt overwhelming, moments when someone's words cut deeper than expected, times when you felt unseen or unsupported. These memories appear like small shadows across the field, but the light of insight softens their edges, and the warmth of compassion gives them space to breathe. Healing does not mean forgetting. It means transforming how the memory lives within you. If grief arises, let it rise gently. Grief is not a sign of brokenness. It is a sign that something mattered deeply. Healing allows grief to flow, instead of remaining trapped beneath the surface. If sadness appears, let it move softly through you like mist lifting in morning light. If fear surfaces, hold it with the same tenderness you would offer a frightened child. Every emotion becomes part of the healing, not an obstacle to it. You may notice parts of your inner landscape that feel hardened, places where you built walls for protection. These walls once served a purpose, keeping you safe when you felt vulnerable or overwhelmed. But now, in this sanctuary, you are safe in a different way. You can gently place a hand against these inner walls, feeling their texture, their temperature, their history. There is no need to tear them down. They will soften on their own with time, warmth, and attention. The Buddha's steady presence reminds you that healing is not linear. It moves in waves, sometimes rising with clarity, sometimes settling quietly. The important thing is that you stay with yourself, breathing through whatever arises, allowing the light of insight to guide your awareness with patience. Healing is not about fixing. It is about listening, understanding, and releasing what no longer needs to be held so tightly. Imagine now that the golden light within you begins to flow outward, filling the entire sanctuary. It spreads through the floor, the walls, the air, until it touches every corner of the space. This light is your own compassion, reflecting what you have learned and what you are becoming. As it fills the room, it also fills your inner landscape, bringing nourishment to every part of your heart. Feel the warmth, touch the places that felt cold. Feel it moisten the soil that felt dry. Feel it brighten the areas that once felt dim or forgotten. You are witnessing the natural restoration of your inner world, a return to wholeness that was never lost, only obscured. Take a moment to rest in this glow, letting it settle into your bones, your breath, your awareness. The field within you no longer feels fragmented. It feels alive. It feels awake. It feels ready for new seeds to be planted, seeds of peace, joy, clarity, and freedom. As the healing deepens, a new sense of balance begins to emerge. Not a balance achieved by effort, but one that comes from aligning with your true nature. The Buddha's presence beside you seems to soften even more, as if acknowledging the transformation unfolding within you. This healing brings you to the threshold of something deeper, an understanding of harmony, a natural equilibrium that arises when the heart is clear and the mind is at ease. With your inner landscape restored and warmed by compassion, you feel ready to step into the next chapter of your journey, where balance unveils itself as the quiet rhythm that guides all things. The healing light that washed across your inner landscape settles into a warm, balanced glow. The sanctuary around you feels steady, grounded, and open, as though it has been gently swept clean by your own breath and awareness. Sitting beside the Buddha, you sense a quiet readiness within you, a subtle but unmistakable shift that tells you something deeper is beginning to unfold. Healing has softened the earth of your heart, and now a path opens before you, inviting you to explore the freedom that arises when you release what no longer needs to be held. Letting go is not an act of erasing or forgetting. It is not about rejecting your past or denying your feelings. It is a liberation, a gentle unbinding of the cords that once kept your heart from breathing freely. Letting go means loosening your hold on the stories that have weighed you down, the expectations that exhausted you, the fears that tightened around your chest like invisible binds. It is a soft release, a quiet exhale that clears space for new growth, new clarity, new peace. In the stillness of the sanctuary, imagine holding a delicate thread between your fingers. This thread represents something you've clung to, perhaps an old belief about yourself, or a lingering attachment to how things should have been. Notice how tightly you grip it. Notice the strain in your hand. The Buddha sits silently beside you, not urging you, not pushing, simply offering you the deep peace of his presence. In that calm, you begin to understand that you can release the thread not through force, but through trust. Gently loosen your fingers. Watch as the thread slips away. It does not fall with heaviness. It drifts lightly, like a feather carried by the smallest breath of wind. You realize, in this moment, that letting go is less about losing something and more about freeing yourself from the weight of holding on. Feel the difference in your hand now. Open, relaxed, unburdened. The tension that once lived there dissolves, replaced by a quiet spaciousness. That spaciousness expands into your chest, your shoulders, your mind. Each release becomes an opening, a doorway to a lighter version of yourself, one that trusts life enough to stop gripping so tightly. The Buddha's stillness teaches you that letting go is a natural part of the path, as natural as leaves falling in autumn or waves retreating from the shore. Every moment of life asks us to soften our grasp on outcomes, on expectations, on identities that no longer reflect who we are becoming. You begin to see that clinging is what creates suffering, but release creates space for ease. Bring to mind something else you have been holding on to, a worry that loops endlessly in your thoughts, or a desire that has tied your heart in knots. Imagine placing it gently into your hands again. Feel its weight, its shape, its presence. See yourself not with judgment, but with compassion. For you have carried this burden only because you longed for safety, for understanding, for resolution. The Buddha's presence feels like a warm breeze now, subtle but steady. It reminds you that letting go is not abandonment, it is trust. Trust that life continues. Trust that you are capable. Trust that your heart can navigate uncertainty without clinging to what restricts it. When the moment feels right, open your hands once more. Let the worry drift away like a petal carried down a calm stream. Watch it move farther and farther until it becomes a soft point of color, then fades completely from view. You may feel an unexpected sense of relief as you release it, not because the situation has changed, but because you have changed in relation to it. Letting go shifts the center of gravity from fear to freedom. It allows your heart to become spacious again, creating room for new insights and deeper peace. Spend a few breaths here, allowing your awareness to expand into that newfound lightness. Notice how your mind feels clearer, how your breath flows with more ease, how your posture softens naturally. The freedom of letting go does not leave you empty. It fills you with possibility. This lightness begins to shine throughout your entire inner sanctuary. Even the stone walls seem to reflect the soft glow of release, warm and inviting. You realize that letting go is not something you do once, but something you can return to again and again each time you notice the weight, each time your heart tightens, each time life asks gently for surrender. There is an unexpected joy in this freedom. Not the loud joy of celebration, but a quiet joy that hums gently beneath your breath. A joy that comes from being aligned with the truth of life's flow. A joy that comes from trusting yourself enough to open your hands. As this joy settles into you, another truth begins to emerge. When you let go, you make space for compassion, wisdom, and calm to enter more deeply. The path ahead begins to shimmer softly with this understanding, as though the light of your sanctuary extends outward, guiding you toward a new landscape where awareness becomes even clearer, even more expansive. With a lighter heart, you rise gently from where you sit beside the Buddha. The door to the next part of your journey opens effortlessly, inviting you to continue forward into a state of presence, unburdened by the past. Ahead lies a chapter where awareness becomes your compass, guiding you into even deeper clarity, peace, and connection. The freedom that has begun to form within you feels steady now, like a soft current flowing beneath everything you do. As you move through your inner sanctuary, that lightness in your chest continues to expand, creating a sense of openness that wasn't possible when you were burdened by old fears and expectations. The Buddha's presence remains near, not instructing, not directing, but quietly supporting the unfolding of your peace. With each breath you take, a new truth rises gently within you. Trust is the bridge between letting go and continuing forward. Trust does not arrive with fanfare or sudden certainty. It begins as a tender willingness, a willingness to believe that the path ahead, though unknown, is carrying you exactly where you need to go. A willingness to feel your way instead of forcing your way. A willingness to honor the quiet wisdom that has been growing inside you through each chapter of this journey. Trust is not a blind leap. It is a soft leaning into life, breath by breath. Walk slowly across the sanctuary floor. Notice how the space feels different now, wider, lighter, as if it has expanded to reflect the openness within your own heart. Healing has loosened your grip. Letting go has unburdened your steps. And now the path ahead seems to stretch forward with a gentle glow, welcoming you onward. You may not know where it leads, but you feel prepared to walk it with both courage and softness. Take a moment to reflect on the times in your life when trust felt difficult. Moments when uncertainty tightened your chest, when choices felt heavy, when the future felt clouded. You carried those experiences with you, and they shaped how you protect yourself. But now, being here, calm, open, strengthened by insight, you begin to see that trust is not about predicting outcomes. It is about allowing life to unfold without gripping it too tightly. The Buddha taught that life is always moving, always flowing, always shifting. Trying to control every turn of the path only creates more suffering. Trust asks you to loosen your hold, to let the river carry you, to have faith that you can meet whatever arises with clarity and compassion. Trust is choosing to walk forward even when you cannot see the entire journey. Imagine stepping toward the exit of your sanctuary. The doorway is lit with a warm radiance, inviting but not urgent. With each step, your breath flows easily and your body feels grounded. The Buddha walks beside you, not leading, not pushing, but moving with you, step for step. His presence is a reminder that trust does not mean walking alone. Guidance is always available, within you and around you, when you move with awareness. Pause at the doorway and gaze outward. The forest awaits, its leaves shimmering with a quiet promise. There is no map here, no written instructions, no signs telling you what to do. And yet, you feel a deep certainty in your chest, a knowing that the path is ready for you. The next steps of your journey are already unfolding. All that is required is your willingness to step into them. Breathe deeply and notice how trust feels in your body. Perhaps it feels like warmth spreading through your chest. Perhaps it feels like a soft loosening in your shoulders. Perhaps it feels like a calm alertness, a sense of readiness without tension. This feeling, however subtle, is the beginning of trust taking root within you. As you step beyond the doorway, the forest welcomes you with open space and gentle light. The air feels fresh against your skin, cool and alive. The path beneath your feet is neither steep nor straight, but it feels steady, and that steadiness brings reassurance. You do not need to know every twist and turn ahead. You only need to know this one step, and then the next, and then the next. The Buddha's presence remains close, not as a guide with all the answers, but as a reminder that wisdom grows when you walk with awareness. Trust is not passive, it is engaged. It listens, it senses, it responds. It allows you to meet each moment fully, without leaning too heavily into fears of what might come. A gentle breeze moves through the forest now, brushing your face with a touch of coolness. It carries with it the scent of pine and earth, grounding you even more deeply into this moment. You begin to sense that the breeze itself is like trust, unseen, unpredictable, yet always present, always moving, always guiding. It touches you without demanding anything, reminding you that life supports you even when you cannot see how. As you continue down the path, a quiet resolve forms within you. The freedom of letting go has created space. Trust fills that space with direction, not rigid, not predetermined, but flowing and alive. Trust tells you that whatever arises on this path, you will meet it with the same openness you've cultivated here. And as this understanding deepens, something new begins to settle in your awareness. Trust naturally gives rise to patience, the gentle willingness to let life unfold in its own time. With trust as your companion, the next chapter invites you into the calm, steady rhythm of patience, the art of allowing, of waiting without strain, of being fully present in each unfolding moment. The forest path stretches gently before you, touched by the soft glow of trust that now steadies each step you take. The Buddha's presence moves with you, quiet and unhurried, as if the very air around him slows time into something spacious and kind. With every breath, the world feels less like a place to race through and more like a landscape to savor, moment by gentle moment. This softening leads you naturally into the next truth of your journey, the quiet art of patience. Patience is not waiting in stillness for something distant to arrive. It is the ability to remain open, calm and compassionate as your life unfolds at its own rhythm. It recognizes that growth cannot be rushed, healing cannot be forced, and clarity blooms only when conditions are ripe. Patience is the spaciousness that trust creates within the heart, allowing each moment to breathe. Walk slowly along the forest path and listen to the subtle sounds that surround you. Leaves rustle overhead in an unhurried rhythm. A distant bird calls out with no urgency. The breeze moves with a deliberate softness, brushing against your skin, as though reminding you that nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. The forest teaches you simply by existing that life unfolds perfectly in its own time. As you inhale deeply, notice how your breath enters your body without haste. Notice how it leaves with the same natural ease. You do not force the breath to arrive or linger. It knows what to do. Your breath becomes your first teacher of patience, showing you how effortlessly the body follows its own cycles when you do not interfere. Reflect for a moment on the parts of your life where impatience has taken root. Perhaps there were times when you pushed yourself too hard, expecting instant answers or rapid transformation. Perhaps you felt frustrated when progress seemed slow, or when emotions surfaced that you believed should have already faded. Or perhaps you've placed pressure on yourself to always be strong, always be prepared, always be in control. The Buddha's presence beside you radiates a calm acceptance that softens these harsh expectations. Healing, insight, peace, none of these unfold on command. They expand like lotus petals opening to the sun, slowly, gracefully, one layer at a time. Patience honors this natural rhythm. Imagine sitting down on a smooth stone along the path. The Buddha sits beside you, legs folded, hands resting gently on his lap. His stillness carries a message deeper than words. Do not rush your becoming. You have walked through many moments, and each one has brought you here. Not too early, not too late, but exactly when you were ready. Patience is the trust that every step holds meaning. Bring your attention to your heart. Perhaps there are places within you that still feel tender or uncertain. Patience means giving those places the time and space they need. You cannot force a wound to heal by demanding it. You heal by allowing, by breathing, by offering kindness to yourself, again and again. Let your mind become spacious, like the sky. Watch thoughts drift across your awareness without trying to hold or chase them. Some will move slowly, some quickly, but all will pass. Patience allows the mind to remain open instead of clinging to urgency or frustration. When you rest in patience, even complicated emotions lose their sharpness. Consider how trees grow here in the forest. They do not strive to reach the sky in a single day. They grow through countless quiet moments, moments of rain soaking their roots, sunlight warming their leaves, wind strengthening their trunks. Their growth is steady, unseen, but profound. So too does your inner transformation unfold through countless small acts of awareness, compassion, and practice. When impatience rises, it often comes from fear. The fear of stagnation, of not being enough, of running out of time. But patience reveals the truth. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply unfolding. Every part of you is becoming in the exact way it needs to. The Buddha's gentle gaze affirms this truth, reminding you to be compassionate with your own pace. Let your breath deepen again. Imagine each inhale drawing in calm, each exhale releasing the tension that urges you to hurry. Slowly, your inner world begins to feel more spacious. The heart loosens. The mind clears. You begin to sense a quiet strength rising, a strength born not from force, but from steadiness. Patience with your journey does not mean doing nothing. It means showing up with kindness, allowing yourself the time to learn, to heal, to grow. It means trusting that your life is unfolding exactly as it needs to, even when you cannot see the full picture yet. It means honoring the pace that feels authentic to your heart. As you stand and continue walking with the Buddha, the forest seems to shift subtly, becoming even more peaceful. Your steps fall naturally into rhythm with the world around you. You feel a deep acceptance settling into your bones, not resignation, but a calm recognition that everything has its season. You belong to this moment, not the ones ahead or behind. And as patience roots itself within you, a new understanding begins to bloom, that life's flow carries a quiet wisdom of its own. The next chapter rises from this realization, guiding you into harmony with the natural rhythm that moves through all things, the gentle current that carries the universe forward with effortless grace. The rhythm of patience settles gently into your breath as you continue along the forest path, each step carrying a steadiness you did not have before. The Buddha walks quietly beside you, his presence soft and grounding, as though the earth itself moves in harmony with his pace. Patience has opened a spaciousness within you, an understanding that life unfolds in its own time. And from this spaciousness, a new quality begins to rise, subtle at first, like the faint shimmer of light on a distant lake. It is the beginning of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean agreeing with everything that has happened, nor does it mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. Acceptance is much gentler. It is the calm acknowledgement of what is, a release of resistance, a softening into reality. It is the understanding that fighting the moment only creates more suffering, while meeting it with openness creates clarity and peace. Acceptance is a quiet embrace, the calm water upon which every reflection is allowed to rest. The forest opens slowly into a clearing where a wide, tranquil lake stretches before you. Its surface is utterly still, so smooth it seems like polished glass. The trees surrounding the lake lean over the water, their reflections perfectly mirrored without distortion. The sky above appears twice, once overhead and once within the lake's depths. This water is not just a body of liquid, it is a symbol of acceptance itself. Clear, open, undisturbed by judgment. Walk toward the edge of the lake and notice how the air feels different here. Cooler, quieter, as though the world around you has slowed into a single continuous breath. The Buddha remains a few steps behind, giving you space, inviting you to meet this stillness on your own terms. You kneel at the water's edge, feeling the soft earth beneath your knees, the gentle hum of the world settling into silence. Look into the surface of the water. At first, you may see only your reflection, the outline of your face, the shape of your shoulders, the expression softened by the calm that has been building within you. But as you continue to look, you begin to see something deeper, a reflection that includes your joys, your sorrows, your accomplishments, your mistakes. The water does not judge any of it. It mirrors each detail with perfect clarity, embracing every shape and shadow without resistance. Acceptance feels like this water, spacious, still, unafraid to hold the full truth. Imagine lowering your hand toward the surface. Touch it gently. Feel the coolness ripple beneath your touch, the water responding but never losing its calm. In the same way, when life touches you, through change, loss, joy, uncertainty, you can ripple without breaking. You can allow each experience to arise, move through you, and settle again. Take a deep breath and consider the parts of your life that have been hardest to accept. Maybe there were moments when things didn't go the way you hoped. Moments when someone you trusted disappointed you. Moments when circumstances changed suddenly, leaving you feeling unprepared. Acceptance does not erase the difficulty of those experiences, but it loosens the grip they have on your heart. It allows you to see them with honesty rather than resistance. You may find that some experiences feel heavy, stubborn, unwilling to soften. Let them rest in the stillness of the lake. Place them gently on its surface, not forcing them to sink or float, simply allowing them to exist as reflections. Watch how the water holds them without tension. You do not need to banish them. You need only to stop struggling against them. As you breathe, the Buddha moves quietly to your side. He kneels beside you and gazes into the water as well. His presence reassures you that acceptance is not a passive surrender, but an active opening, a willingness to see clearly and respond with wisdom. He does not tell you what to accept. He simply shows you that acceptance creates peace, the way calm water creates clarity. Notice how your body feels as you sit here. The tension in your shoulders begins to melt. The tightness in your chest loosens. Even your breath becomes smoother, flowing easily in and out. Acceptance brings a physical ease, a soft release of the internal struggle you may not have realized you were carrying. Look once more at your reflection. Notice how different it feels now. Not because the reflection changed, but because your relationship to it changed. Acceptance allows you to see yourself without harshness, without expectation, without resistance. You begin to understand that you are worthy of compassion exactly as you are in this moment, with all of your imperfections and all of your strengths. Stay with this feeling as long as you need. The lake supports you. The Buddha supports you. The path supports you. Acceptance is the quiet doorway through which peace enters, natural and effortless. And as this calm settles deeply into your heart, you begin to sense something else rising within you. A refined sensitivity, a deeper clarity, an enhanced awareness that allows you to see the world more truthfully. Acceptance prepares the mind to awaken fully to the present, sharpening perception with gentleness and insight. With your heart steady as this still lake, you rise once more, ready to walk forward into the next chapter, where awareness becomes a luminous guide, revealing the subtle truths shaping every moment of your journey. The calm surface of the lake continues to shimmer softly as you rise to your feet, the stillness settling into your body like a gentle, steady breath. Acceptance has broadened your awareness, easing the resistance that once tightened your heart. As you take a slow step away from the water's edge, the forest around you seems to shift once again, not dramatically, but subtly, as though making room for a new understanding to unfold within you. Out of the quiet peace that acceptance brings, another truth begins to emerge, delicate yet powerful, the art of surrender. Surrender is often misunderstood. It is not collapse. It is not defeat. It is not giving up your strength or letting life crush your will. True surrender is something entirely different, something softer, wiser, and far more liberating. It is the act of releasing the need to control what is beyond your reach. It is the willingness to trust in the greater rhythm that guides all things. It is yielding the fight against the moment and allowing yourself to rest in what is, without fear, without struggle, without retreat. Walk slowly along the path as this understanding begins to warm the space inside your chest. Imagine the Buddha walking just a step ahead of you now, his pace unhurried, his presence quiet but radiant. He does not look back. He does not need to. He trusts that you will follow when you are ready, and in his steady movement you feel the essence of surrender, not forced, not fragile, but rooted in profound peace. The forest deepens as you continue walking, the ground soft beneath your feet, the air cool and welcoming. You may hear the faint murmur of wind brushing softly through the branches overhead. Listen closely. The forest does not resist the wind. It bends, it sways, it yields, and yet in yielding, it does not break. It moves with the moment, not against it. This is nature's surrender. Fluid, graceful, alive. Take a deep breath and feel how the breath mirrors this same surrender. The inhale arrives of its own accord. The exhale leaves without hesitation. You do not force it, and you do not resist it. When you let the breath move through you naturally, you experience surrender in its purest form, a quiet willingness to let the moment be exactly what it is. Consider the places in your life where you've held tightly, gripping circumstances or outcomes with fear or urgency. Perhaps there were times when you tried to force understanding, force healing, force resolution, or times when you resisted change, resisted uncertainty, resisted the unfolding of events that felt beyond your control. These moments exhaust the heart, not because you lacked strength, but because you were trying to carry a weight that was never meant to be held alone. Surrender invites you to release that weight, not by abandoning your path, but by allowing life to move with you rather than against you. It whispers quietly, "You do not have to hold everything so tightly. You do not have to carry it all by yourself." Imagine now that the path opens into a wide, quiet meadow. The grass sways gently in the breeze, and the sky stretches overhead, spacious and endless. In this open space, the Buddha settles himself onto the ground, and you follow, feeling the earth support you as you sit. The vastness around you mirrors the spaciousness emerging within your mind, a place where surrender becomes not an idea, but a lived experience. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine placing your worries, your expectations, your fears, one by one, into the palms of your hands. Hold them gently. Do not judge them. Do not cling to them. Simply acknowledge them with the compassion you have been cultivating throughout this journey. Then, with a slow exhale, imagine opening your hands and letting them release into the wind. Watch them drift upward, growing lighter, dissolving into the sky until they vanish completely. Surrender is not losing what you release. It is freeing yourself from the burden of trying to control it. It is trusting that life will carry these pieces where they need to go, in their own time, in their own way. It is trusting that you can meet whatever comes next with strength, clarity, and peace. Feel how your body responds to this gesture. The shoulders soften. The breath deepens. The heart feels spacious and unguarded. This is the freedom that surrender brings, a freedom that cannot be forced, only welcomed. The Buddha's eyes meet yours with a gentle, knowing calm. His silence tells you that surrender is a doorway, one that opens only when the heart feels safe enough to let go. And in this meadow, surrounded by peace, guided by wisdom, your heart finally feels that safety. Remain in this stillness for a moment longer, sensing how surrender spreads through your body like warm light. Notice the ease that begins to descend over your awareness, the sense that you no longer need to push or strain. You are carried, supported, guided, not by something outside of you, but by the deeper wisdom within. And as this understanding settles into your bones, another truth gently unfolds. Surrender creates space for flow. Without resistance, without fear, life begins to move naturally through you, guiding you toward deeper clarity and harmony. With your heart open and your defenses softened, you rise once more, ready to step into the next chapter, where the flow of the present moment becomes your guide and your companion. The open meadow stretches peacefully behind you as you continue walking, the soft glow of surrender still warming your chest. Each step feels lighter than the last, as though the earth rises gently to meet your feet. The Buddha walks beside you once more, his presence steady and calm, guiding you deeper into the heart of your journey without a single spoken word. The sounds of the forest begin to soften again. The rustle of grass grows faint. The distant call of a bird fades into stillness, and even the wind seems to quiet its breath. A new kind of silence begins to form around you, spacious and deep, like entering a chamber carved from pure tranquility. This silence is not emptiness. It is fullness without noise, rich, vast, and alive. It invites you inward, beckoning you deeper into yourself than you have ever gone before. There is no fear in this descent, only an intuitive recognition that you are approaching something essential, something truthful, something ancient within you that has waited patiently for this moment. Imagine the forest pathway, narrowing softly, guiding you toward a small grove where tall trees form a natural circle. Their branches arch overhead like a cathedral woven from living wood, sealing the space in a quiet, sacred hush. When you step inside, the air thickens, not in weight, but in presence. This grove holds a kind of stillness that feels older than memory, a stillness untouched by time or thought. The Buddha stops at the edge of the circle and gestures gently, inviting you to enter alone. You step forward, feeling the ground cool beneath your feet. As you stand in the center of the grove, the stillness deepens even further. It is as though the entire world inhales and holds its breath. There are no birdsong, no leaves shifting, no distant echoes. Only a vast, quiet stillness that envelops you completely. You have entered the deep quiet within. Sit down slowly, letting your body settle into the earth. The silence around you mirrors the silence rising within your mind. Thoughts that once surged like waves now soften into gentle ripples. Some fade entirely, as though the quiet itself absorbs them into its boundless depth. This is not the silence you've known in your everyday world. This is a silence that feels alive, a presence that reveals itself only when the mind stops searching. Close your eyes and allow awareness to drop inward, like a stone sinking gently into clear water. With each breath, you descend further, past the surface thoughts, past the inner chatter, past the echoes of past experiences, past the emotions that usually fill your awareness. Deeper still, deeper into the spaciousness that exists beneath everything you think you are. This inner quiet is not something you create, it is something you discover. It has always been here, concealed beneath layers of noise. In this stillness, you feel no pressure to perform, no need to define yourself, no urge to hold on to anything. Here you simply are. Your breath becomes incredibly soft now, like a whisper moving through open space. In this silence, even your heartbeat feels like part of a larger rhythm, slow and steady, echoing through the vastness within you. You begin to sense that the quiet is not separate from you. It is you, the core of your being, untouched by fear, untouched by past wounds, untouched by future worries. The Buddha sits at the edge of the grove, not intruding, not supervising, but joining you in the vast stillness, honoring your inner descent with his gentle presence. His calm merges with yours, deepening the silence, creating an atmosphere where truth rises naturally from within. Insight does not need to be forced here. It blooms on its own, like a lotus opening in the still water of dawn. You begin to sense a subtle clarity rising through the quiet. Not a thought, not a conclusion, but a direct knowing. A knowing that you are more than your fears, more than your habits, more than your stories. A knowing that beneath all the layers of identity, there is a simple, luminous awareness, a presence that sees, that knows, that simply exists. It is peaceful. It is spacious. It is unshakable. Rest in this awareness. Feel its depth. Feel its stillness. Feel its truth. The deep quiet within is not the absence of life. It is the essence of life. It is the space from which everything arises and into which everything returns. When you touch this silence, you recognize your true nature, not something extraordinary or unreachable, but something profoundly simple and already complete. As you remain in this vast stillness, you feel the boundaries between yourself and the world soften. The separation you once felt begins to dissolve, and a sense of unity rises like a warm glow through your chest. This quiet is not only within you, it is within everything. Slowly, with the gentlest breath, you begin to rise from the silence, not leaving it, but carrying it with you. The Buddha's eyes meet yours with a soft knowing, as though he has witnessed your awakening without needing to speak. The grove feels changed yet unchanged, reflecting the same transformation happening within you. And now, with the deep quiet resting inside your heart like a secret flame, you step forward into the next part of your journey, where this silence becomes the foundation for an even deeper awakening. The recognition of your own luminous awareness, shining steadily beneath all experience. The deep quiet within settles into you like a soft, luminous breath, steady and grounding. As you begin to stand from the center of the grove, you can feel that the silence has woven itself through your awareness, not as an idea, but as something unmistakably real, an inner stillness that remains untouched even as you move. The Buddha watches gently, his presence calm and unchanging, as though he already understands the discovery waiting to unfold inside you. You step forward, leaving the grove but carrying its silence in your chest. The forest receives you with a tender hush, branches shifting ever so slightly as if bowing in respect. Each footstep feels lighter now, each breath clearer, each thought softer. Something has shifted, not on the outside, but deep within the core of your being. That shift is the beginning of recognizing your original nature. Your original nature is not something you must earn, discover through effort, or reshape through perfection. It is not a state you must achieve someday. It is who you are beneath every layer of fear, doubt, habit, and identity. It is your natural mind, vast, clear, boundless, compassionate, awake. This nature has always lived within you, even during your hardest moments. It was the quiet voice that whispered comfort when life felt overwhelming. It was the soft glow that kept you moving, even when you felt lost. It was the calm you touched briefly in moments of awe or peace, before the noise of the world pulled you away again. Walk a little deeper into the forest, and notice how the path gradually becomes brighter. The trees thin, just enough to allow beams of sunlight to spill through, scattering golden patterns at your feet. These lights resemble the glimpses of clarity you've had in your life, the sudden understanding that arrives unannounced, the feeling of connection during moments of kindness, the relief that comes when you stop resisting what is. These flashes were not random. They were moments when your original nature shone through the surface of your thoughts. Find a quiet place beneath one of the sunlit trees and sit down. The Buddha sits across from you now, his posture steady, his eyes soft. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. His silence invites you to look inward again. But this time, not into silence alone. This time, you are invited to look into the living awareness that has been with you since the beginning. Close your eyes gently. Notice the breath, rising and falling like a tide. Notice the quiet behind the breath. Notice the awareness that watches both the breath and the quiet. That awareness, the one observing without effort, is your original nature. It is not distracted by thoughts, even as they come and go. It is not shaken by emotions, even as they rise and fall. It simply witnesses, unchanged, unbounded, steady. Let your awareness expand a little. See if you can sense its vastness, not as a thought, but as a feeling. It has no edges, no walls. It does not end at your skin. It stretches outward, filling the entire space around you, then farther still. It is spacious like the sky, clear like a still lake, luminous like the glow of dawn. That clarity is yours. That spaciousness is your own nature. Take a breath into this vastness. Feel how natural it is, how familiar, like slipping into a room you've lived in all your life but had forgotten how to enter. Notice how thoughts feel different here. Instead of gripping you or defining you, they float lightly across your awareness like clouds drifting through an endless sky. Your emotions too become softer, no longer storms, but gentle waves. You feel no need to push them away or cling to them. They simply arise and dissolve in the clarity of your original nature. The Buddha's presence grows brighter, though he does not move. It is not his light that fills you, it is your own, reflected back to you through his stillness. He is only reminding you of what you carry within, a wisdom older than your fears, a compassion deeper than your wounds, a clarity untouched by the chaos of the world. Open your eyes. The forest appears brighter now, not because the sun has shifted, but because you are seeing with clearer awareness. Every leaf seems more vivid, every sound more spacious. The world feels both intimate and vast at once. This is what happens when you touch your original nature. The boundary between you and the world begins to soften. You see how everything is connected, how the same awareness that watches your breath watches the movement of wind through the trees, how the same presence you feel within is reflected in the quiet presence of the Buddha beside you. Sit with this realization. Let it settle. Let it become part of you. Your original nature is not something you must cling to. It will not disappear if you stop trying to hold it. It is always here. It is always you. All you need is the quiet to notice it, the patience to recognize it, and the compassion to allow it to shine. And now, with this luminous clarity resting within your heart like a steady flame, you are ready for the next step of your journey, exploring how this awakened awareness can guide you through each moment, revealing peace not only in stillness, but in the movement of life itself. The forest path glows more warmly now as you rise from where you had been sitting, still wrapped in the clarity of your original nature. Sunlight filters through the trees in soft, steady beams, like threads of gold woven into the air itself. Every step you take feels guided by a gentle radiance that seems to move from within you rather than from the world around you. The Buddha walks beside you in silence, yet his presence feels like a steady flame, calm, unwavering, endlessly patient. This steady flame mirrors something inside you, something you have begun to recognize more clearly with each chapter of your journey. There is a light within you that does not fade when life becomes difficult, a light that does not dim when fear or sorrow pass through your heart. Even when clouds gather, even when storms rise, even when the mind feels lost or overwhelmed, this inner light continues to burn softly. It is the essence of who you are, unbreakable, unshakable, and deeply alive. As you walk deeper into the forest, the quiet around you begins to take on a new quality. It is no longer simply stillness, but a kind of listening silence, as though the trees themselves are paying attention, acknowledging the presence of the light you carry. The ground beneath your feet feels soft and warm, holding you with the same gentle steadiness as your own breath. Imagine a time in your life when everything felt heavy, when circumstances or emotions seemed too much to bear. Even then, even in your most uncertain moments, the light within you continued to flicker. You may not have been able to see it, but it was there, guiding you, whispering softly beneath the noise, carrying you through until clarity returned. This light has never abandoned you. It cannot be lost because it is not something you own. It is something you are. Walk a bit farther until the forest opens into a clearing bathed in soft golden glow. At the center lies a small stone platform, weathered and smooth with age. Upon it sits a single candle. Its flame is modest, not fierce or bright, yet it burns with a calm constancy that feels familiar, like a mirror of the light within you. The Buddha approaches the candle and kneels beside it. Without speaking, he gestures for you to join him. Sit down comfortably across from the candle and rest your hands gently in your lap. The flame dances ever so slightly, moving with the breeze yet never wavering from its center. Watch its movement carefully. Notice how it bends, how it sways, how it shifts shape, and yet how it always returns to its steady core. The flame's resilience reflects the resilience of the light within you. You too have bent without breaking. You too have shifted and returned to center time and time again. Let your breath deepen as you watch the flame. Feel its warmth reflected in your chest, in the quiet area beneath your sternum where your inner light lives. With each inhale, imagine the flame growing steadier. With each exhale, imagine your worries softening, losing their sharpness. This flame is a reminder that no matter how dark the night becomes, even the smallest light holds immeasurable power. Remember moments in your life when you thought you had lost your way. Yet here you are, still breathing, still learning, still unfolding. That alone is proof of the light's endurance. It guided you even when you felt blind to it. It held you when the path felt uncertain. It illuminated small steps when you could not see the road ahead. This flame, this presence within you, cannot be extinguished by hardship or doubt, because it is not dependent on circumstance. It is woven into your very being. The Buddha's gaze rests gently on the flame, his expression peaceful, almost knowing. In his stillness, you sense a truth. The light within you is the same light within all beings. It is the spark of awareness, the seed of compassion, the essence of wisdom. When you recognize this light in yourself, you naturally begin to recognize it in others. When you trust this inner radiance, you begin to move through the world with more grace, more courage, more peace. Sit quietly a little longer and let this realization settle into your bones. Feel the warmth of the candle seep into your chest, illuminating even the places within you that once felt dark or forgotten. The flame does not judge. It does not choose which spaces to illuminate. It shines freely, offering its light to every corner. Your breath grows softer, your mind more spacious. The clearing around you feels sacred, held in a gentle balance between stillness and light. You begin to sense that this inner flame will guide you not only through the rest of your journey tonight, but through every chapter of your life. It is your anchor, your compass, your quiet companion. As you rise from the stone platform, the flame continues to glow behind you, steadfast, calm, unwavering. The Buddha stands beside you once more, his presence echoing the same truth. Nothing you face can extinguish the light within. You carry it always, even when you forget, even when the world feels heavy, even when you feel lost. It remains. With this steady warmth resting gently in your chest, you step forward into the next chapter of your journey, where the light you carry becomes a guide for deeper awakening, a gentle illumination showing you how to see the world and yourself with clearer, kinder eyes. The clearing grows softer around you as you continue along the forest path, carrying the warm, unwavering light within your chest. Each step feels quieter than the last, as though the world is easing into a slower rhythm made just for you. The Buddha walks beside you, his presence even more serene now, like a lantern whose glow becomes gentler as night approaches. The day around you begins to dim, not abruptly, but in the way dusk slowly folds the world into its arms, peaceful, gradual, inevitable. A deep stillness begins to settle over the landscape. The trees stand tall and calm, their branches swaying ever so slightly in the evening breeze. The golden beams of light that once filtered through their leaves begin to soften into cool silver tones. Shadows lengthen, stretching across the path like silk ribbons laid gently at your feet. The air carries a quiet hush, the kind that only arrives when the forest is preparing for rest. Everything feels unhurried, tender, inviting you to surrender to this descending calm. As you continue walking, you notice that the light within you grows softer too, not dimmer, just gentler. It shifts from the bright flame of realization into the soothing glow of deep comfort, the kind of light that asks nothing of you, expects nothing from you, simply wraps around you like a warm blanket. Your breath slows naturally, matching the rhythm of the forest. The space between your breaths widens, stretches, and becomes a place of rest in itself. Ahead, the trees part to reveal a quiet clearing blanketed in soft moss. The sky above is deepening into shades of lavender and blue, the first stars beginning to flicker like tiny sparks awakening from their daytime slumber. This clearing feels peaceful, almost sacred, a place meant for nothing but rest. The Buddha steps forward and lowers himself onto the moss, his movements unhurried, graceful. He gestures gently for you to sit beside him. You settle down into the cool, soft earth, feeling the moss cushion your body as though nature itself is offering you a place to unwind. As soon as you sit, a wave of calm washes through you, deeper than before, softer than before, as though your entire being is beginning to exhale after a long, quiet journey. The ground beneath you feels steady and supportive, and the air around you feels like a gentle embrace. Look up at the sky for a moment. The stars shimmer faintly, their light delicate and patient. They do not rush to shine, they simply glow because glowing is their nature. Their presence is calming, steady, eternal. You may feel as though your mind is beginning to mirror them, quiet, distant from worry, simply existing in soft, peaceful awareness. Beside you, the Buddha sits in perfect stillness, radiating the kind of peace that makes your eyelids grow heavy. His presence feels like the hush that settles over the world just before sleep, the lullaby of silence that soothes even the most restless thoughts. He offers no words, only calm companionship, and that alone is enough to ease the last threads of tension still lingering in your body. Allow yourself to breathe slowly. With each inhale, the cool evening air fills your lungs with serenity. With each exhale, you feel your body releasing the final remnants of strain and thought. Your shoulders loosen. Your jaw softens. Your hands rest effortlessly in your lap. You can feel the day melting out of your muscles, out of your breath, out of your mind. Imagine now that the light within your chest begins to drift upward, spreading into your head, your face, your eyes. It brings a slow, gentle heaviness to your eyelids, coaxing them toward rest. This light is like moonglow, soft, comforting, quiet, a glow that invites dreams rather than thought. You feel yourself being lulled by it, like a tide slowly pulling you toward the shore of sleep. The forest around you becomes a cradle of tranquility. Crickets chirp softly in the distance, their rhythm slow and even. A gentle breeze brushes your skin, cool and soothing. Leaves above you rustle like whispering lullabies. Every sound is gentle. Every sensation is calm. Every moment is designed to carry you deeper into this peaceful night. As the Buddha's presence remains steady beside you, you begin to feel yourself drifting, as though lying back into a vast night sky. The boundaries of your body soften. Your thoughts loosen their grip. Your awareness begins to float, held by the stillness around you. You are not falling asleep. You are sinking into rest, like slipping into warm water that supports you effortlessly. The forest dims further. The stars grow brighter. Your breath becomes barely a whisper. Your mind becomes spacious, dreamlike, unhurried. You feel safe here, guided by the Buddha's quiet presence, protected by the forest's peaceful embrace, supported by the inner light that cannot be lost. And now, As the final threads of wakefulness begin to unwind, you drift gently into the night, wrapped in calm, surrounded by stillness, carried by peace. The journey will continue, but for now, rest is your path. Let the quiet guide you, and let yourself drift into the deepest, gentlest sleep. The gentle night that surrounds you deepens into a soft, velvety darkness, warm and comforting like a blanket drawn tenderly over the world. The forest has quieted completely now. The breeze has slowed to a mild whisper. Even the stars seem to hum softly in the vast sky above, their glow steady and reassuring. You sit in the clearing beside the Buddha, the moss cool beneath your body, the calm within you deepening with every slow breath you take. The long journey you've walked, through stillness, through insight, through release and awakening, now settles into a single moment of profound peace. The Buddha's presence feels closer than ever, not because he moves, but because your awareness has grown so still, so open, that his quiet radiance reaches you effortlessly. He sits in silence, yet his silence speaks in a way that words never could. It conveys safety. It conveys understanding. It holds a wisdom as deep as the night sky itself. You feel it surrounding you like a cocoon, gentle, warm, protective. Every part of you begins to soften into this peace, as though the boundaries of your body are dissolving into the calm air around you. Take a slow breath in. Feel how easily it enters your body, how naturally it flows out. With each exhale, a new layer of tension lifts from your shoulders, your back, your mind. You've carried so much along the path. Fears, doubts, old burdens, memories, expectations. But now, in this final chapter, everything becomes light. The Buddha's wisdom doesn't remove your experiences, it transforms them. It wraps them in compassion until they lose their sharpness. It places them gently into the past, where they can rest without pulling at your heart. The clearing glows faintly now, illuminated not by the fading light of the day, but by the calm energy that flows from within you. This energy feels familiar, like the quiet radiance you discovered earlier. But now it has settled into its purest form. It is no longer rising or awakening. It is simply resting, like a lantern, whose flame has found its perfect, steady shape. This is peace without effort. This is presence without expectation. This is you resting in the Buddha's wisdom, the wisdom that has always been within you. Listen to the stillness around you. Notice how it feels alive, as though every inch of the forest is breathing alongside you. The trees sway gently, their branches bending as if bowing to the peaceful connection you've found. The earth beneath you feels solid and dependable. Even the night sky seems softer, as though the stars themselves are watching over you. Everything in the world, near or far, seen or unseen, seems to acknowledge this moment of deep rest you've entered. The Buddha slowly closes his eyes, and you feel a shift inside your own awareness. Without needing instruction, your breath becomes even slower, even gentler. Your thoughts drift away like small petals carried on water, floating until they dissolve into silence. There is no need to follow them, no need to gather them back in. Let them drift. Let them disappear. Your mind is allowed to rest now, free from the weight it once held. Imagine the Buddha's wisdom settling over you like a soft, luminous blanket. It is warm but light, comforting but spacious. This blanket covers not only your body but your heart, your mind, your inner world. It assures you that you are safe. You are supported. You are guided. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to hold on to. Here, in this clearing, you are allowed to surrender completely into the deepest rest. Let your breath fall into an even slower rhythm, quiet, soft, barely noticeable. Your eyelids grow heavy. Your muscles feel loose. Your heart feels unburdened. The wisdom that surrounds you now whispers gently that the world will continue, turning without your effort, without your worry, without your vigilance. You can rest. The night will hold you. The Buddha's presence will keep you safe. If any lingering tension remains in your body, imagine the Buddha placing a gentle hand above your heart, not touching but hovering close, radiating warmth. Feel that warmth melt through your ribs, your chest, your belly. Feel it soften your back, your shoulders, your throat. Feel it quiet the last hints of restlessness in your mind. His wisdom moves through you like a calm tide, washing everything into stillness. You inhale once more, slow, deep, peaceful. You exhale into tranquility so profound it feels like sinking into a soft cloud. Your awareness drifts like a leaf, floating on a calm pond. The forest grows dimmer. The stars blur softly. The world becomes weightless. You are resting now, not just your body, not just your mind, but your spirit. The Buddha remains with you, watching over your rest with a compassion that never flickers, never fades. His wisdom encircles you like a gentle embrace, guiding you into deep, effortless sleep. Let yourself drift. Let yourself soften. Let yourself rest fully in the Buddha's wisdom. Tonight, you sleep in peace. Tomorrow, you will rise renewed. But for now, breathe softly and drift into the deepest calm you have ever known.